Welcome, warlords and war ladies, to episode 21 of Dion Rising. Hi. This right here is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play campaign brought to you by the Knights of D20. Hi, babes. We're so glad to be back. We missed this. As usual, before we begin traversing realms and trading gemstones, we have a few announcements brought to you by a friend of mine who spent his winter break weaving starlight into a fabulous new cardigan. Bobby, please do us the honor of saying what's new with the Knights of D20.
Absolutely. So as per usual, our week is pretty much the same. We're picking it right back up from where we left off. So tomorrow you can join myself and Royal for Intelligence Mod Pod. We're going to be talking about clerics, both 2014 and 2024. This is a class that's very close to both of our hearts, so it's a pretty good one. And I'm going to be honest, I have the memory of a goldfish. I can't remember, but I feel like we get into some good debates in this one. If not this one, next week we're talking about Rangers, and you can bet your darn tootin' that we're going to be getting into it a little bit.
Yep.
For tea time this week, it's going to be Melanie and Kara. Who knows what they're going to get into? Those two always get into all kinds of trouble during tea time, so I'm excited to see what kind of dirt Melanie is able to dig up, because she is our investigator extraordinaire. Over on Book Club, I know last month we told you that we were going to be reading ACOTAR and doing a review. However, the snow demons and holidays and just swarms of family members kept us from releasing that, so we are going to have the ACOTAR, which is a Court of Rose and Thorns. Yes, that will be coming out probably around the 24th. You should be able to be looking for that. It's going to be the whole book. I know normally we split it, but this month we are going to be doing the whole book and then getting back to our regular fantasy book smuttiness after that. Casting Friendship this week, it's going to be a double dose of caramel. They are keeping it just them two as they talk about money. What does that mean? I really don't know. I have no idea where this conversation is going to go, so I'm excited to get in there and see what they're talking about. And if you want any extra news, any extra little tidbits, we do have our Discord. Go ahead in our links below, and you should be able to find that. Join it, and you can see all of the news as it happens, as we're coming up with it, as well as any official character art before it shows up on the stream. But with that, I am going to send it back to our dungeon mother so we can get the show on the road.
Thank you, Bobby, and thank you all again for joining us as we embark on an epic adventure in the world of Dion, where heroes rise, dangers abound, and legends are born. Players, dice at the ready. Creative solutions here today. Okay, let's recap. In episode 20, the party descended into the depths of the Obsidian Vault in the Hells, on a quest to retrieve the Chains of Dominion to seal their deal with the Devil Lord Solvak. They not so carefully navigated a series of hallways, tipping off a few spined devils, one of whom they captured and hid with in a storage room, before the other flew off to call for reinforcements. With some light torture, possibly a few war crimes, the group extracted information from the small devil about the rest of the building, what awaited them in the innermost vault. After evading some traps and opening the vault door, the group skipped the monologuing and battled the horned devil, General Thalazak, and his Maleficent to narrowly win the Chains of Dominion and a substantial hoard of treasure. Returning to Solvak, the gang were allowed to keep the chain, to be wielded by Killian, and asked to be transported back to the great Atheneum of Arendriel, in their home realm, to continue their investigation into the powerful and recently accidentally freed Emperor Orin. A young drow man, prettily dressed but with an air of maudlin inebriation, slumps on a plush chaise lounge in a dark room filled with strangers and friends. Though the memory is as hazy as the room you're remembering, Eidos, you smirk a bit, remembering how your favorite courtesan, her name escaping you after these long years, magically produced a tiny bolt of lightning between her finger and thumb to light your hiveweed pipe for you. Your smirk blooms into a rare full smile as you recall other things she would do with that particular trick. Slowly, though, as always happens when recalling your own history, Your smile and the memory turn sour. You scan the room. It's lit by red arcane wall sconces and furnished with items that you're sure are covered in various stains that remain, luckily, undetectable in this dim lighting. The drink, or drinks, or many drinks, slow your perception to the point that you realize you've just kind of been holding your burning pipe, staring at nothing in particular for a too long moment. Your companion for the night, maybe Zendaler? Zamira? Laughs at you and takes your empty cup from the low table as she stands and slithers her way through the crowd to the long slate bar for a refill. This den of appetite and consumption had been one of your favorites, mainly because of the kind of crowd it draws. The pipe and the incense smoke that clouds the air isn't enough to fully obscure you from the revelers, nor them from you. And that's how you like it, as you can look around and count no less than 8 people in here, surely making note of your current state to report back to Lord Velkir. A woman with blonde hair and golden skin, small-boned, with impeccable posture, sidles up to the bar next to your hired lover, Z something, to try and get the barkeep's attention. For a heartbeat, you think Serafina has made the long trek across the sea and somehow found you here. But the woman turns slightly, and you're simultaneously relieved and disappointed that it's not the profile of your oldest friend. Just then, a table of serfs near you has been getting rowdier as the night has gone on, kind of jump-starting a hangover before you're even truly that drunk. Cheers to the whore of Oros and her brat princess, and cheers to Orin for leaving our miserable asses to plow the fields of shit he left for us from our drow masters. To Oros' dead bride, to our foreign queen. Your buzz is instantly ruined, as always happens when you're confronted by drunken dissidents and angry serfs. Worse still, you aren't the only well-dressed man in the room. You see another group of drinkers start kind of like white-knuckling their cups and muttering sour somethings while glancing at that rowdy table. Impeccable timing has Z something plopping back down and pulling your legs onto her lap as she offers a full cup of something fizzy. I think things are about to get a bit less boring here. Shall we retire upstairs before the clash of the classes begins? Or are you hoping everyone in here somehow forgets your family name?
Oh, I expect them to remember. They know my name pretty well around these parts, but I do get tired of hearing about it day in and day out, so yes, let's make our way upstairs. But first, and he'll snap at the bartender, it's like, round on the crown.
The bartender gives you a nod, a bit like sweaty. It's been pretty busy tonight with people getting very drunk and realizing he's got a whole nother round to pour now for the whole bar, but satisfied enough knowing he's not going to have to trade coin with every single person taking this round. And knowing that you're good for the coinage, he starts pouring those drinks. Z something goes over and grabs 2 of those drinks for you as she kind of gestures toward the stairs.
I'll follow her. Take a drink out of her hand and take her hand in mine and follow her upstairs.
Okay, you guys aren't upstairs very long.
Well,
you hear as you're closing the door, you do hear... Sorry, you're up there for only a few moments before something happens. No, you're closing the door. You hear the beginnings of like a pretty ruckus argument, if not a sort of the beginnings of a fight start to occur downstairs that you're glad you've just narrowly avoided. You snap the door close, walk over with your drink, put it down, start to kind of take off your like your scarf and unbutton the top button of your shirt to get comfortable. And very brisk knock, knock, knock on the door sounds.
Shirtless, Ados will head over and open the door. Yes, who is it? I'm busy.
Out of context, do you open the door? Or do you just say through the door?
I open the door to see who it is.
Yeah, out of context, it takes you a very quick moment to register that your father's steward, who is one of your least favorite people on Dion, is standing there in the hallway, stiff, unnaturally still. Steward Istolvir, he doesn't even begin to give you a nod of greeting. He just kind of jumps right into business, as he usually does, to your annoyance. He says, Lord Ados, your father has requested you return to the manor. He requires your attendance to discuss an urgent family matter.
Oh, you'll have to tell... Sorry?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, well, you'll have to tell him it'll have to wait. as you can see, I'll point to Z, what's her name. I'm quite busy tonight, but I would gladly show up in the morning when I wake up.
He slides a foot to make sure the door stays popped open, knowing you pretty well. Roll a perception check for me.
Okay. 18.
Okay. You note that Istelvir is incredibly stoic as a person. He's very difficult to read. Even so, he is visibly shaken to your eye. Possibly, with that roll, even downright afraid.
That'll catch him off guard, and it'll kind of open the door from when he was gonna slam it in his face. And he said, "Can you let me know what I'm about to walk into if I walk out of this room?"
Well, as you can probably assume, knowing your parentage, nothing good, Lord Ados. I wouldn't have sullied myself in this building were it not important.
One of the many perks of this establishment. Give me a second, and Ados will go and put back on his tunic and cloak, and kind of give Z a kiss on the cheek and say, "Tomorrow we'll have to wait," and then he'll go follow the his father's servant.
As you're walking away, she takes the initiative to kind of pull back on your cloak and kind of pull you back toward her, and like gives you a kiss as she reaches into your pocket and pulls out a handful of coin from your coin purse and says, "For the round you just bought and for my time, thank you, dear," and releases you to go.
Yeah, she's great. He winks. He's super into it.
Okay. So you follow the steward back to the manor. You're trying to appear sober, trying to appear calm as you kind of hurry up to keep with his brisk gait through the foyer. Your house is very darkly furnished, very sparsely furnished. The pieces you do have in the home are darkly clean, typically all in blacks and grays, even a little bit of blues. But your house is like, just walking in, even though it's not physically colder than it is outside, you shiver every time you're at home. However, you move into the Great Hall, which is brightly lit. It's washed in just oppressive heat from these two massive stone fireplaces in both the eastern and western walls, and a fully lit chandelier overhead. Your steps on this smooth stone echo are the only other sound beside the heavier clicks of your father's pacing up on kind of like the main dais, back and forth, his hands clasped tightly behind his back, his gaze straight ahead, just searing, not really looking at anything in particular as he paces.
I think Ados, as soon as he enters the room that his father's in, his demeanor visibly changes. He's lost all sense of bravado and arrogance. A lot more reserved around his father.
Yeah, and as you've been well trained to do, you kind of wait for him to give you the first word, out of respect, though unearned it may be. And you're following his pacing. He barely even acknowledges that you've entered the room. And as your gaze follows his path, as he crosses behind, your gaze lands on the seat to the right of Valkyr's. It's your brother's seat, high-backed, and at this particular moment, empty, and shrouded under gleaming white fabric. It's the colorless white of mourning, and your stomach drops because that is the shade of death. Eidos, you shake off the memory, shivering, and you move forward with your friends. Fresh, humid air immediately coalesces as a sheen of moisture on your skin, as you all step through Solvak's portal into gilded late afternoon sunlight. Compared to the stifling heat of the Hells, the air here is particularly cool, and honestly so balmy you kind of feel as though you could drink it after the days you've spent in the realm of the devils. The fresh air smells of thriving greenery. It's very, potent, just smells like when plants sweat after a heavy rain and a hot summer. It's quite still here on this street you're stepping onto until a rush of energy blows your hair from behind you, whoosh, as you're as the portal you've just stepped through rushes closed. Eidos, you've never been to the great capital city of Ozuled. You've heard a fair amount about it from both Seraphina, who grew up only a handful of miles to the north, and your other classmates and instructors at the Collegium, which is in this same nation. Seraphina, you're taking in a view which has been some years since you last beheld. Before you, broad and solid as a mountain, is the great Atheneum. A beacon of wisdom and wonder, the great Atheneum is the crown jewel of the triumvirate of Nerdistan, glowing in yellow marble like a monument to the pursuit of knowledge. The structure itself is a masterpiece. It's designed to inspire awe and reverence. It is both intimidating and welcoming somehow at the same time. It has these 3 spires, this massive colossus of a triangle-shaped building, pointed with 3 spires on each point, the tallest of which reaches nearly 200 feet into the air, and they're all made entirely of sharply cut golden marble blocks, transported here all the way from the dwarven quarries of Thrasnulim. The spires are adorned with these arcane runes that glow faintly as the sun sets. It's kind of a testimony to the library's deep connection to and protection by magic. The base of it is encircled by a wide, moat-like canal, which is fed by the Tauren River, and spanned by elegant arched bridges. You all find yourselves stepping onto the abutment of one such bridge after exiting from the devilish portal.
As soon as we step through onto solid ground, Maraway is fully like Stevie Nicks spinning around with his shawl, just kind of letting out several giggles, and he's just, isn't the planar travel so much fun?
Saying this is my first time actually doing it, not bad, not great.
At least you didn't throw up. I've seen quite a few people when they go through the different planes, they come out and they do the blah.
Killian immediately leans over the side of the bridge and says,
Oh, there's always one, I guess. As he like
There-
pats Killian's back.
Seraphina holds her mouth and swallows and tries to be discreet.
Okay, yeah, the entrance hall, it is midday. The street, though pretty quiet, the Atheneum itself, it appears to be open. The main entrance in front of you across the bridge. Can you all hear me? I'm
Okay,
back.
it wasn't just me. I was also.
Oh, I was afraid it was just me.
Oh
my God!
It was just everybody. That's good. Fine.
I was about to
We're
type
back.
in chat. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I was just going like,
We all
stand completely still, and then no one will know I'm freezing. Okay, it's fine.
I was like, it's me.
doing it live, people.
so that was everyone? Well, that was
I'm pretty sure
everyone?
this
Everyone.
was starting the whole
Looks
time.
like
I'm
it,
about to see us go.
Okay, jeez.
Okay,
I heard up
Go
to
on.
the door was propped open.
okay, fabulous. That's about all I said, and then we froze. So you got it all. The door's propped open, and Chiffon says, well, shall we go inside and see what knowledge awaits?
Seraphina takes a deep breath and says, so many memories between these stacks. And she glides forward through into the library.
Wonderful.
Zana
You all
will turn
follow?
to Eidos and be like, "She reads."
Oh, I'm not reading between the stacks.
Oh. Right.
I assure you, it's another poised posture for her. Eidos will take out a flask, a little obviously perturbed from his little flashback, take a swig, and then follow behind Seraphina.
Okay. And you two lead your friends into the entrance hall, the Hall of Whispers. It greets you with immediate towering bookshelves that stretch impossibly high. And some of you are really kind of in awe at these floating, glowing globes that look like just glass lights with no tether floating around. You see a few monks walking by, and each of them has a globe floating along behind them to kind of light their way into the darker parts of the library. And you have the run of the library, there is a large, long, kind of semicircle desk where 4 or 5 different sort of clerks and librarians appear to be sitting and working. Some of them are jotting down names of tomes that they're looking at and putting them on shelves. Some of them are organizing stacks of paper and checking dates and things. But yeah, you have entrance into the library with no particular destination. Where would you like to begin your search?
What are we looking for? Like, what should we be looking? Should we like split into teams? I honestly, I have never seen this many books in one location in my entire life, and I am a little intimidated.
Well, I believe we're here in part to find the 4th relic that Orin is after. Yeah.
Just generalized relic stuff in general, stuff about this random king that we may have set free that may have perhaps going to destroy the world.
Yeah, when you ask what section of the book you're looking for is in, I suggest not saying any of that. Instead, just say, I'm looking for books on relics.
Just relics in general? Does that...
Well,
Just
or
relics.
for history, I'd imagine. Orin's been a staple in the world for many years before, so there's bound to be many books about him.
Yeah,
Zada's gonna point to a random monk and say, "You there! I need books about relics and history of King Orn."
Don't-
They barely glance up, like just a quick cursory glance as they're like running their finger down these long scrolls of text, and they kind of snap in the air a few times, and one of those floating orbs that happen to be sort of floating just below the ceiling through the Hall of Whispers comes sort of rushing down and stops right in front of Zada, who just yelled, and sort of projects this illusory image, and it says, "Greetings and welcome to the great Atheneum of Arendriel. I am the Living Index. I am here to help you on your search. The Atheneum is not only a repository of knowledge, but a symbol of unity. Scholars from every race and faith gather here, exchanging ideas and forging alliances. The Zaxwani Institute, a renowned school for magic and innovation, and sister university to Luminara Collegium in Nerdistan, shares its grounds with the library, making Ozuled a beacon for aspiring minds. How may I help you in your pursuit of knowledge today?"
Bula just reaches forward and like sticks her hand through the projection. Like so confused.
It tickles. Like, it's not entirely just projection. It's almost like little particles of something floating there, but still able to be reached through, and you come out clean. It's a strange feeling. Something that's only half real, almost.
Relics and Keen Orn and anything that you may have on Little in history, maybe? You said all races, right?
Have homes on nearly all known races. I can certainly help you with this. Would you like to start with relics, with the history of Emperor Orin, or with the history of the Leonin race?
I guess the relics. We want god relics. Specifically, apparently.
Relics. So, that is an interesting request. We have an entire wing dedicated to the relics of the gods. This is called the Hall of Echoes.
Well,
This
that's
is
convenient.
considered This is considered a sacred wing where scrolls and texts from the age of the creator gods are housed. This section is open only to the most trusted scholars, and the air hums faintly inside with divine energy, as so many tomes have been touched by the gods. Therefore, I will be unable to assist you in that particular section of the Atheneum today. Please make a different request.
Well, I worship a god. Can I go in there? I've been touched by a goddess.
We have general histories of the gods in the public-facing section of the Atheneum. I would be happy to direct you to these tomes. If you would like to pursue entry into the Hall of Echoes, it will take 16 weeks for an application into the monks' observatory to gain access.
Unacceptable. I need to see it now.
Where can we find one of these monks?
Monks can be found guarding the halls of the Atheneum. And she kind of blips away and then recoalesces all the way on the other side of this entry hall, which is several hundred feet away. It's a big domed entry hall. And she is just like, she coalesces next to a worker, an apparent like librarian, who like jumps and is like, don't do that! And she says, here is one. She does not say it louder, so it's very hard to hear her until she blips back away and blips right back in front of your face again. You can find several of the monk order who protects the Atheneum throughout the Atheneum. They are, by all accounts, the living security system we employ.
As this is happening, Seraphina is going to push Zada gently aside. She'll say, "Excuse me, it is I, Seraphina Blackthorn."
Seraphina Blackthorn of Nerdistan. Yes, I remember. You last visited 4,826 days ago. It is good to see you again.
Oh, quite.
What
What
did she check out last time she was here?
Anyway, so
Lady Seraphina spent her time in the visual novel section of the Atheneum. She checked out
history.
How scholarly.
Lady Seraphina did not check out any books while she was last here.
I wouldn't think she would. Go ahead and ask your question, Seraphina.
It is I, Seraphina Blackthorn. I would like access to the Hall of Echoes.
Seraphina Blackthorn is not on the list of allowed attendees in the Hall of Echoes. I am sorry. If you would like to apply, it will take you 826 days to gain access.
Damn.
Takes her longer.
You are
than
welcome to
normal.
begin the process today at the front desk.
Zada's just gonna
I can
laugh
speak to.
loudly
May I
at
speak
that.
with your task manager?
Oh god. She blips away again and blips behind the desk. And this librarian like tries to like shoo her away, like waving at the air, and you can see the particles that make her up like kind of dissipate where the hand waves through, but recoalesce. And again, from like too far away to really hear very clearly, she says, "Please proceed to the front desk for assistance."
Exasperated. Exasperated. Seraphina is going to head to the front desk and demand attention.
Have you ever been denied entry anywhere, Seraphina? You don't seem accustomed to it.
You seem very accustomed to it.
Well, I know that I'm a stranger in a strange place, and I take it with grace.
I don't know, mine only took 16 weeks. I'm just saying, I just
Yeah.
got here.
Looks like Zada's on an expedited trek. Well, you have to wait even longer. That's strange.
There's a clerical error of some kind. I'm gonna
Oh.
get this resolved.
I'm sure
Don't
this
worry.
looks like the place for clerical errors.
Excuse me, floating orb.
Yes,
Would
hello.
you happen to have information about demi-planes and how to create them?
Demi-planes. Yes. You may proceed to the Realms, Planes, and Other Forms of Existence section within the... And she kind of like you can like see the computer sort of working of her brain as she scans through all the best places to look in the library in her mind. She says, "You should proceed to the Orrery of Worlds, which features many tomes and texts on the different planes of existence." And she
Do you have any,
like
like,
leads down one of the hallways.
like text for like Ere for like her disciples, or do you have like any like non-basic text of Ere.
We have many non-basic texts of both the uninvited and the general gods and goddesses of the Pantheon of this planet. Many of them are in Hall of Echoes. If you wish to gain access to the Hall of Echoes, will do. 2,000 days.
Sounds like the
About any
computer's
other
glitching.
things.
It's lagging.
The computer is lagging behind. Hold on.
So immersive.
Little gold orb, are you okay?
The librarian at this point, who's behind us, is like, okay, and like does this like little like cantrip to like turn off the orb as it like drops to the ground, and the computer dissipates, the projection dissipates,
Oh.
and she says, I only have a moment. We're very busy today. What can I help you find?
Relics on gods. God relics and Keen Orn.
Are you from the Collegium?
Sure.
Okay.
Why,
let me
yes,
see.
of
No.
course.
I'm getting mixed answers, which makes me think no, and that you're wasting my time. If you would like to learn about the gods, we have plenty of books on the gods in the Scriptorium Gardens. You could check the floating shelves. There are many, many texts there about both the known gods and the unknown gods. If you want to know about the history, sure, we have a whole slew of books about the history of Dion and the gods.
Zada's gonna point
all
to
available to
Gilly. He's
them.
like, we have a god relic. Does that help us get into it?
Damn it, Zara. He's joking, of course.
No, we don't. We actually do. That chain right there. It's literally a god.
Wanda, you're
I
such a
like
silly kitty cat. And I'm just gonna like grab his arm, and it's like trying to drag him away, but my hooves are like sliding across the ground.
Yeah,
Just
I'm so
trying to
sorry.
pull him.
he's not from here. He's playing around. He's playing a joke. But we need access to the Hall of Echoes, and we understand that only monks can get into the Hall of Echoes, but we have some official business.
I'm also a monk.
Not that kind of monk.
Okay. If you're an official business, what sort of permit or legal contract do you have from any of the scholars, or perhaps the
Well,
fact
see,
that you... Go on.
That is the next part of our quest, to obtain such documents so that we can have access to the Hall of Echoes. See, we don't have anything right now. We just we understand that there is a bit of a waiting period, and we're wondering if maybe we could have a accompaniment into the Hall of Echoes by a monk, or somehow be expedited on the track. We're in a
16
little bit.
weeks is bullshit.
He's joking.
What if I told you that we had a prince in our presence? Would that help us?
I don't think that's gonna help.
I can't say that helps. Here's the thing, folks.
Well, cool.
The Hall of Echoes, it's not just that the books are possibly sensitive material. It is that those are some of the oldest and rarest tomes on this planet, and this is the most protected library in the world. So even if I wanted to help you, I wouldn't be able to without the proper authority sending written instruction for me to allow you in there. So, what we can do, is there anything specific I can help you find in the public-facing part of the library? And if you give me a specific about what you would like us to research for you within the Hall of Echoes, I'd be happy to assign one of the monks to do that within the next few days.
Yes, of course. Thank you for your time. Well, I personally would like information on the uninvited god Dia. I think that's how you pronounce her name. General information.
Alright.
No, don't need Ari. Any general information would be fine. We're particularly interested in relics from Dia, but if that's behind closed doors, then so be it.
You see, I once heard a bedtime story about the uninvited ones, and they each had these powerful relics, but my mother didn't really remember one of them, and I was just wondering how the story ends.
That's
Far be it from me to discourage the pursuit of knowledge and the end of a story. I have taken note of what you would like. What is your name? Where are you staying within the city? How can I get a hold of you when we have some information for you?
Well, we just arrived. We're not staying anywhere. Do you have any suggestions on lodging?
Well, there are certainly several establishments nearby. Do you have anywhere in particular you need to be besides the Atheneum, or shall I just choose the nearest place to here?
Tell us your favorite.
Oh, my favorite. Okay. It is the Sandy Snowman. It's just 2 blocks down, 4 blocks over.
That's where we'll be staying.
Fantastic. Can I have a name for this request? Shall I open you up a library card?
Yes, you can put it. This one is called Motorway.
Ados will kind of put his hand on Maro's back and bring him forward to get his very first library card. The library card's a big responsibility, Marway.
I think I can handle it.
What the hell's a
Huthamer has been
library
telling me
card?
to do this for a long time.
Her demeanor changes with Maraway. She's very charmed immediately by this childish request for his first library card. And she's been taking these notes, and she does a little cantrip, and this little tiny card appears in her hand in a little sparkle of light. And these glowing letters in pretty blue appear, that just say the one Maraway. And it says has access to borrow 5 books at this time from the Atheneum. Essentially, that you could take home up to 5 books at a time, at once, to borrow. And hands it over to you, and she explains, do you understand the concept of borrowing?
Well, it's like giving, but you give it back, yes?
Perfect, yes. That's all it is. You may borrow things from the public-facing part of the Atheneum. You do need to bring them back within a certain time period. Depending on the book, you check them out with us up here, and we will tell you when it's due back.
Perfect. And with that, he's immediately just going to turn and walk towards where he was instructed to go for the section of demiplanes.
Yeah.
And with like a little snap of his fingers, a little lightning appears, and Huthamer shows up wearing his little round glasses.
That's good. Yeah, you head into the Orrery of Worlds. It's down a short hallway, and it's it's actually the central chamber of this triangularly shaped library. It features this magical planetary model suspended in the air, with planets and stars all moving in real time, slowly around the room, charting like celestial patterns and offering kind of like insights for astronomers and diviners, some of whom are like walking around the room taking measurements and taking notes. And around this model are several like hands of a clock, or parts of a clock, these many shelves of tomes. And they're all labeled based on kind of what plane or what world or different sort of things outside of Dion that people have studied. A big section of which is the Fey Realm, and you're welcome to kind of peruse there.
Specifically, I'm going to be looking for maybe books on creating demiplanes.
Okay. That'll take a little bit more time, so you'll be, jumping from section to section.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have Huthamer kind of running back and forth, grabbing things, communicating with you. So go ahead and just roll a general investigation for that.
First roll of the year. All right, it is.
Ooh.
Well, let me tell you, friends, this is how you start the year, with a 3.
Nice.
Mhm.
3. Fabulous. Even with Huthamer's help, it's so overwhelming. You're just really starting to get a good handle on the common tongue, which a lot of these are written in, but that's not the only language that the tomes are written in. But you begin the process of like navigating your way just through using a library and cross-referencing things. So you don't quite find anything yet, but we'll come back to you shortly. So back in the entrance hall, the Hall of Whispers, are any of you still chatting with the front desk? As she gets a little bit more impatient.
I'll also ask for just a book on the uninvited gods in general.
Okay. She explains, well, the uninvited gods, most of the tomes about that, about them were frankly lost to time for different reasons, but we do have some and more recent studies, not so much historical text. You can look in most of our historical god-related tomes are located on the floating shelves in the gardens, so you could head that way and start there. Just take one of the orbs with you. They'll pull down books as you request and sort of have a, and the index will help you go through all the titles you can find on any given shelf.
Thank you for your help.
She says, I heard you mention to the index, speaking of which, you want history on Orin? We have much more about him, if that's something you'd be interested in studying.
Most certainly.
Okay, well, go ahead and move through the backside of the floating shelves, take a left, and frankly, not a lot of people are studying that topic right now, so you should find a pretty quiet part of the stacks in the Eastern history or in the Western history section.
I wouldn't be surprised if people start getting more about him lately or soon. Yep.
Another joke. Thank you for your help, and Eidos will head to that Western history section to read about Orin.
You hear her say as you're walking away to one of the other librarians, do you understand that sense of humor, or am I just not funny anymore? Everyone just shrugs. Okay. So which do you go to first? What did you say? Orin?
The book. Orin, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so yeah. Do the rest of you head anywhere different? Or do you follow him?
Yeah, go ahead, Bula.
Bula's just gonna go on ahead and kind of follow Marway at a distance. Really, she's just trying to touch the floating lights. And her stomach keeps growling. But she's kind of keeping an eye on Marway so he doesn't get lost.
Okay. Sarah, Killian, Zada, where you heading?
Seraphina is lingering until the other people leave the front desk so she can have a minute with the clerk.
I would like to look on, you already said for Eri and on, what do you have on Linolin history? Just, curiosity. I'm curious what other people think of our species.
Curiosity killed the cab.
You're not here, far away!
That action brought him back.
She laughs at that. She's like, I see I do have a sense of humor to her coworker. And she says, follow your friend back to, he's going to the Western history section. You're going to go to the Eastern history shelves, as that's typically where your ancestors are from. So that would be where you would find any history books on Leonin or cultural tomes.
All right, and one last thing is we heard that a tribe of orcs, not big warfaring, scary bunch. Would like to learn something about them. Apparently, they got a relic in their hands, and it's Ares, and I kind of want it.
You're so funny, Zada.
She considers
What
for a
is
moment
everybody?
groups of
I'm
orcs.
not
Well,
joking.
the highest density of orc population is certainly on the Western continent. So your friend who's already in that section should be finding. So go again where he is searching about the Western continents, and you'll find. I assume that's where you mean. Orcs are everywhere. There's an orc studying in the Luminar right now, but they mostly reside on the Western continent. So check in that section.
Okay. Guess I'll go do that. And one last, just a curiosity thing. Do you have anything on like elementals or elemental planes, like the elements themselves?
Sure. In the Orrery of Worlds, we talked about planes and different
Sure.
means of existence. Check there. That's where your young friend is.
But do you have anything that's like about like people that can tap into those powers? Not like mages, but just people in general.
Do you mean monks?
Yes.
Well, certainly. We have monks are a big part of our our structure here in Nerdist. So, yes. So if you don't want to know so much about the history as much as the actual magic of it all, you're going to want to actually study the, frankly, quite boring but usable texts on monks' abilities and the profession as a whole. And you could find that in the floating shelves, section 4 is where we keep much of the occupation-related texts.
All right. Thank you. I will just... He picks up the orb that's on the ground that she deactivated. I'll just take this with me and go find it.
It lights back up and like floats up out of your hand, but follows you, knowing it's with you. Killian.
Killian will walk forward and say, I'm looking for a little bit of information about my home continent's Cordia. Specifically, I'm looking for a little bit of information about the now ruined city of Thorsavin. So that's one of my inquiries, and I have two more. One is I'm looking for a little bit more information about the Abyss. Specifically, anything dealing with planar breaches, portals, some might call them, of creatures of the Abyss coming into the material plane. And then the final search, I would look to learn a little bit more about Oasis and their followers and Oasis's influence on the material plane.
Well, for information about the history of Thorsavin, you're going to want to find a couple books that we have back in back where your friends are with the Western Continent histories. There are several tomes back there about Cordian history you'll be able to find. The Abyss, those would be, anything about that would be located in the Orrery, as it is related to planar shifting. What was your third request?
I was looking for a little bit more information about Oasis and their influence on the material plane.
Fantastic. The public-facing god tomes that we do have are also in the Orrery, in the Celestial section.
Perfect. Can I get one of those little orb things?
Certainly. Produces from under the desk one of the glass orbs that lights up and floats over to you. And you hear the voice, that it's not projecting right now, but the voice itself begins its whole spiel again. I am the living index. The Atheneum is not only a repository, and as you walk away, you all hear it going on with its original greeting. Okay, sorry, go on.
I was just saying, Killian will head towards the orrery first.
Okay. I think that only leaves Seraphine at the desk, right?
Yeah, so as Killian walks away, Seraphina leans over towards the clerk and says, is there any way there is a self-help index that I could use? I have some sensitive information I'm looking up.
Certainly. Reaches under, gives you an index. It says, if you've been here before, then you know that, they have a sort of restricted setting that you could put it on so that it doesn't reflect on your personal account history with the Atheneum.
Oh,
Turn
perfect.
that on and you're good to go.
Is it quiet? The other one was a little loud.
Certainly, yes. It will not even project a voice outside of your own head.
Perfect. And I think I'm going to need a new library card. I think my borrowing history has been corrupted.
She pulls out this tome and cantrips her way through it very, very quickly. She says, when was the last time? And then she thinks better of it and just pulls out another index and says, what's your name, dear?
Seraphina Blackthorn.
Okay, and she says, Seraphina Blackthorn, last visit. And it produces the date of the last time you were there. And she says, yes, that is well past the expiration date. Okay. And
perfect.
Once again, she cantrips up a library card. You've been here enough that your card allows you to take home 15 tomes at a time. Not that you've ever really used that privilege.
Seraphina's history be like knots and how to tie them.
Knots in you, how they work, how to make knots work for you.
This is why I need a fresh card.
She raises an eyebrow at you and says, anything else I can help you with, or may I get back to my stacks?
Oh, that's have fun in the stacks. And she winks and walks away with her secret
Starting to think I
orb.
really don't get the humor of children these days. Goes back to work. Okay. Eidos. You were the first to kind of wander off into your section after Maraway. Go ahead and roll an investigation check, and then let me know what you're searching for first, specifically.
Okay. Cool. That was a 3. I was looking for information on Orin's disappearance, kind of what happened right before he disappeared, and any potential theories. Which doesn't
I'm
matter.
sorry. You are from the Western continent, so I need you to roll with advantage.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
And you can roll investigation or history.
No
Was that a nat
matter.
20?
That's a nat
Shit.
20. Feel like
Nice. Good thing I remember
maybe
that.
my first or second one of the whole campaign.
Hey, it happened. That's what matters.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
for sure.
Okay, yeah, that helps a lot. I'm sorry, what did you say you were researching first?
Orin's last years, kind of the events leading up to his disappearance and any theories on his disappearance.
Okay, cool. You find a couple really solid tomes just on the history of Orin because he was so long-lived. He was the founder of a massive, massive empire that spread like wildfire across the eastern continents, or the western continents. He built his empire. You're perusing these, trying to find snippets of information, especially toward his later life. You see that he built his empire through more than just brute force. His government was like, and you know this quite well, it was able to kind of use the chaotic and disorganized structure of the existing nations that are there to kind of provoke total war on some regions while allying with like the brutal Urag orc clans and the independent Drow queendoms to conquer or annex massive amounts of land at a time in a relatively short time. His empire was and kind of remains to this day so vast and mighty due to like several factors. The leadership structure that he set up under him and now the Empress maintains a state of like constant surveillance and very harsh punishment for dissidents. There is across the Western continents kind of an unequal availability of natural resources from region to region, so that really allowed the wealthy to subjugate the weak and kept the serf class too hungry, too exhausted, too dependent upon the kind of landowners to revolt. So in the last years before Orin disappeared, it's written that the expansion of the empire had kind of ceased based on his decisions, and a sort of status quo was actually maintained across the northwestern continent. Certainly not comfortable for the poor, but a very steady form of government for many years before he disappeared.
And no information on the disappearance itself.
No, not in these tomes.
Okay.
It is, some of them like postulate about why he disappeared. Some say he just got old and died. Many, for the end of his life, one of the big notable things that he did was visit the now Empress, but then Princess Cheresa Krogeshrock, who is a Drow princess. She was born to the Queen of Undlu Helnar, which is a very large underground Drow nation to the north of the Empire. She was called her mother was called the Oros Anointed Queen. Her name was Istalil. Her father is never really proven. The princess's father was never proven. And theories, and what the queen said was that the princess was the daughter of Oros, literally, the god Oros. And therefore, the princess is considered like Oros anointed. The queen never changed her claim that Cheresa was fathered by the god Oros. She was ordained to be the leader to reunite the Drow with their high elven kin under Orin, which ended up happening. The queen soon became bedridden, quite aged, and left the management of the Drow crown lands to Cheresa, who was declared queen regent. And you do find a tome that references Emperor Orin, which claims that after Cheresa was gifted his crown, Duchess Jaldan of Ulagani, the other Drow nation, joined other Drow nobles in declaring her the queen and the empress. The queen regent of Undlu Helnar and Ulanagani the Crown Empress of Orin, and the Twilight Princess of Elves, and she's thus ruled since, even over your province. You knew her as your queen, though she was considered kind of foreign to, and you yourself and your family were kind of placed by her as drow. You look further to try and find more about his disappearance in this particular tome about the princess. It shows in the year 1214, after Emperor Orin disappeared, the princess traveled to Selsyala in the Orin Emperor to assume her title as empress. She was supported by a lot of her drow vassals, your family included. However, many of the high elves of Orin refused to accept a drow leader. To kind of mitigate problems, she gifted lots of the richest Orinese families and those who commanded the largest armies with like preferential land and titles in exchange for loyalty. It gave her position a little bit more security because the only thing she really had to go on was that the emperor had gifted her a crown. A few have kind of attempted to politic their way onto that throne, but none have really attempted with outright force as of yet. Most seem to kind of accept that Orin intended Teresa to be his heir apparent. And gifting her the crown was one of the very last big acts that he did before he disappeared. One of his last big public appearances. One rather wordy and opinionated chronicle that you find surmises that she has not returned to the northern homelands for fear that her absence would kind of create an opening for despots to usurp her. But yeah, that's the extent of what you find up until the years that he disappeared.
Okay.
Zada, what are you searching for first?
Zada will kind of half-heartedly look up stuff about our area, probably the first thing, and then after maybe just a few minutes of trying to understand what they're writing, because he's not the smartest cookie, he'll probably try to figure out a way to get into the restricted section.
Okay.
Just like scout it out, look it out, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so you start looking for texts about Ere in, first of all, do you start in the kind of planar celestial section, or do you start in the historical, like, Western continent section?
Historical Western continent.
Okay, so you start there, and that's good because you also wanted to know about the orcs. And what you might know about Ere is beside your kin on the eastern continent, another big group that worship Ere are the Urag orcs, who are now sort of allied with the Orin Empire. It doesn't really have a lot about Ere. It says that, many of the societies that worship Ere kind of revel in violence and blood sport, hence why you'll find it in more orcish places, or like the eastern continent, which is largely unsettled, and where certainly survival of the fittest still very much applies. You find not very much, especially about Ere, and not even very much about the orcs that worship her. You find a tome that gives a reason for this. It tells you, actually roll investigation as to see like what you're able to actually interpret from this text, because it's very dense.
Oh boy.
Can you find the footnote?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually really good for me. That's a 19, so that'll be an 18 for investigation.
Okay. What you're able to learn is that out here in the public section, or in any library really, the reason there's not a lot about the uninvited ones is because most of the texts and like first-hand histories were located on the northwestern continent, which is where the orcs mainly reside, until the very first Yogg, which is a word that functions, as far as you can tell, as both a name and a title for like the leader of the orcish clans. The first Yogg started his raids, and he started raising the more civilized communities across the area. Thus, many quantities of this ancient knowledge, the written knowledge and history about Dion, and like the oldest histories of Dion, were burned or lost during that time. Even the Yogg dynasty's own history has kind of been lost to these ongoing wars that have been happening on that continent. You do learn that the Uragan Empire has had like a very long lineage of Urag leaders. They flourished as a major exporter of meats, spices, grains, other vegetables grown in their grasslands. They do still worship Ere and Uleni, but they've kind of gone straight since their alliance with Emperor Orin, again shortly before his disappearance. What was your roll again?
18.
Okay. That's a pretty high roll for Zada even. You find this like leather-bound folio of loose letters. You start reading them. They appear to be between cousins, who live under the Urag dynasty, or the Urag clans. They indicate that the Yog line and Emperor Orin were very close working allies, and the writer of the letters was present in Yog's stronghold when Orin himself presented Yog with golden armor fit for a conqueror, and proclaimed him Emperor Yog Orog of the Urag Empire. The writer described the whole affair as like a bit pretentious for the people who think fighting pits are the epitome of theatrical entertainment. That perks your ears up because you've had suspicions about what the items are that you guys are seeking. But that is the only thing you can find about that particular topic.
That sounds perfectly good for him. He'll just kind of like get bored and then
Start
trying
wandering.
to find the restricted section, figure out where it's at.
Yeah, I like to think you just like do the thing where you like stick to a wall and just keep heading in the same
Yeah.
direction, like making sure you touch every single exterior wall of every room.
Yep.
Okay, we'll give you some time to do that. Let's go to Killian. What are you searching? Or which section are you going to first?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the orrery first.
Okay, cool. And are you looking at Abyss stuff or are you looking at Oasis stuff first?
I'm gonna start with the Abyss.
Okay. What you're able to find are there's quite a lot of like magic-based books about opening portals to the Abyss, for like single-use purposes, small, like kind of like what Solvak, very familiar to what Solvak would have been able to open. So you find some stuff about that. You find a couple tomes that sort of postulate that demons were quite present during the Dionic Wars. There's like various like artifactal proof of it. There's many like firsthand account, not a lot, but enough firsthand accounts of just armies of demons. And demons aren't really particularly known to like work in armies. They're very much just chaotic creatures, but it appears that they were very present during the Dionic Wars. And that is quite unusual because you're cross-referencing that idea with the notion that most portals aren't just giant open doors. So it seems strange something would have caused these demons to be able to flood Dion like this. And that's a bit unnerving to you, considering the possibilities of how they got onto Dion. And then there's not a lot you can find on the ends of the Dionic Wars or how things sort of reached a status quo again, or that the demons left, or whatever happened. You do notice that all these books that you find this information in, they're all histories of, or they all appear to reference the Western continents, the Northwestern and Southwestern continents. A lot of these books do, just in the fact that that's kind of like the cradle of creation, sort of, on this planet. It's sort of where many of the races came from. Some of the oldest civilizations exist on those continents, including Cordia, the island that is now Cordia.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, is there anything about like closing portals, any like particular way to do that? Whether it's like breaking some kind of magical tether or something like that, or something. What do we gotta break?
Roll investigation with advantage to see what you can find, because you're starting to dig into like specific spells and magical tomes.
All right. So 15.
15. Okay. You are able to reading, like, there's not a lot of very specific spells for closing portals. There's sort of just general portal magic that you're able to read. Some specific spells that open and close portals, but they're all like I said, like, most of these spells are kind of one-time use. They open for a set amount of time and they're going to close automatically. There's not a lot that specifically says there has to be something different to happen to make a portal permanent or need it to be closed, to have a closure word of some sort or some kind of act. So again, you're kind of stumped here about while you're searching in these magical tomes, and you even start looking with that 15. You start looking in like the memoirs of different mages from history, especially mages who were known for like teleportation and things like that. And some of them like postulate ideas about like massive open, essentially like gates between realms. But more of like they would like to be the mage to invent it, not that they think it's happened.
Okay. All right. All right. I think that's probably all Killian is going to be able to derive from the books here. Seems like everything's just a quick one-time use from what he's seen, and wondering what his mother's notes left about what they're planning on doing in Thorsavin and how it can be possible given the knowledge that he has here. So obviously he's wondering if there's something else out there that can cause a portal to remain open, although he doesn't find the answers here.
Okay. Seraphina, I'm dying to know what you ask on incognito mode.
Seraphina's gonna take the orb and find like a secret, like quiet corner of the library. Maybe she's visited this quiet corner before. She's gonna find a little private space, and she's spent a lot of time in this library, but she hasn't done a ton of research, so she's not very familiar with how the orbs work. So she's kind of like, index, and she's like tapping it to try to activate it.
Yeah. You see it light up and float up out of your hands. And the voice this time is in your head. It is telepathically projected. And you don't see the projection, the physical projection, or the visible projection in front of you. It's just a voice in your head. But it is the index's voice. I am the index. What are you searching for?
Can I respond in my head, or do I have to say it?
You can respond in your head. You try. You try and just think really hard.
Okay, so she closes her eyes. She thinks really hard to try to communicate with the index telepathically.
The index says, "You do not have to yell. You will give yourself a migraine."
She like rubs her temples. So Seraphina asks the index in her mind to try to find some information about warlock texts. Just any information. She doesn't really know what she's looking for, so just warlocks generally.
Okay. The index says, past the orrery, down a hall, is a specific shelf with many tomes on warlocks and warlock patrons. If you would like to know of any specific texts in the area, please be more specific, or we may proceed to that section of the Atheneum.
Seraphina is gonna ask if there is any specific section for draconic patrons.
Yes, for draconic warlock patrons. We may continue to section 84 of the orrery, which is in the back next to wizard and druid and cleric sections.
Okay, so Seraphina definitely knows where section 84 is. She's gonna try to ask.
It's all pretty well clearly labeled. You can follow like the Roman numerals, library system. So you can make your way there. You probably have definitely not been back there before, but you can make your way there.
Okay. She's gonna wander around till she finds section 84.
Okay. go ahead and roll. You can roll either Arcana or Investigation in this
I'm
section.
gonna do Arcana. I have 14.
14, pretty good. Okay. You find a few books that mention, and the orb helps you pull a few tomes that it knows specifically reference draconic patrons. One of them is called The Patron's Will by Lore Master Anya Fayshade. You flip through it. It explores the mysterious bond between a warlock and their patron. It discusses the psychological and magical effects of channeling whatever type, like different types of patrons. How a warlock can interpret dreams, omens, and commands for their benefactor. And it's a bit generalized, but it does sort of have a section where it lists out the different sort of types of warlock patrons. The more common ones. You also find another. Sorry, go ahead.
Seraphina's gonna ask the index, is there like a Warlocks for Dummies book? Like she's looking for something like more basic.
Yeah. In your head it says, the index says, you may enjoy reading Shadows of the Otherworld, Advanced Invocations. And the orb kind of like floats away from you, and those same like kind of particles that make up the visible projection are able to like unshelf a book and bring it down within your like reach. And you start flipping through it, and it is a detailed catalog of warlock invocations. It's not so much a history of warlocks or like an explanation of warlocks. It is just warlock spells essentially, or different like warlock abilities that have been found over the years. From like very basic enchantments in the beginning to sort of rare, and even a few like not written out, but the description of forbidden warlock spells toward the end.
Ooh,
It includes, you're so excited because it includes like step-by-step instructions on mastering Eldritch invocations. It's got like kind of the consequences as footnotes of using different ones to try and persuade the reader to use wisely. As you're perusing this book, your thumbnail kind of like slips along the inside of the back cover, where the leather is sort of like folded and glued. And like a corner of that leather kind of like peels up with your thumbnail as you like go to turn a page.
Seraphina looks around to make sure no one can see that she's defacing the library book. And she'll peel it open once she knows the coast is clear.
Okay, yeah, you're able to kind of like, it's sort of like nailed in some spots with like little tack nails and glued in others, but you're able to pull apart the leather covering and the inside back cover. And this piece of paper you pull a piece of paper from the binding. It is jet black paper. It just looks blank on both sides until like you really put your eyes on it for a second, and you have to like squint because suddenly this writing, this like very like chicken scratchy sort of text begins to appear and then fade and then appear and then fade in like sort of flashes of light that appear for a second at a time and then go away, and then a longer text for a longer time and then goes away, back and forth. Roll for me. Actually, you probably don't. Do you speak Draconic, yes?
I do.
It takes you a second to really register what you're looking at. Because you can read Draconic, you're just reading it as quickly as you can as it flashes different things. But it is written in Draconic. The things that are being flashed across this paper at you in like this blinding light of ink. That's sort of like color shifting as you read.
I think Seraphina can read Draconic, but she's never exercised this before, so it kind of takes her a minute to figure out what the text is saying.
Yeah, okay. So you take a second. Just roll a straight investigation. See how well you can really read quickly as you try and recall this language.
It's a 3.
Okay.
She's squinting really hard.
Yeah. You're
Looking
like,
real close.
yeah, you're like, you're a little rusty with your Draconic, so it's almost like you have to interpret each individual symbol and then put together the word. You are able to, there's one point where like at this whole, it almost is written like a recipe format, and you recognize it as like a spell component or like a spell instruction. And then from there you start to just kind of recognize that maybe some of what it's showing you are spells, but it's going like way too fast for you to interpret this quickly.
Okay, yeah, she's like staring at it like it's one of those like magic eye.
Yeah, like crossing your eyes and then uncrossing, and then pulling it away from your face.
Yeah.
And you hear footsteps that you've been concentrating too hard to realize were approaching, but as you hear the footsteps, someone is coming around the corner of this shelf with a big old stack of books, like covering their face. A sort of female figure.
Seraphina will like quickly close the book and try to like put it in her bag and just like grab a bunch of other books just randomly that are around.
This person like kind of like startles and like drops several of the books off this tall stack that she was carrying. And you are shocked to see your old friend Mira Talvin is standing there, and she's just as shocked to see you. She like is like, "Oh, you scared? Oh my God, Seraphina!"
Oh, hey, Mira, how's it going? And she,
Oh my
I
God,
remember her name.
She's like, it's been years. I'm good. And she like bends down and starts picking up her books. And it takes her a second, but she like looks, she's like, what have you been up to? And she's looking at the book as she's putting it back on her stack, like restacking all these things. And she realizes she's holding she's reshelving a bunch of Warlock tomes. And she's like, wait a second. Why are you in this section? Why are you here at all? What is happening?
Oh my gosh, I have to tell you, we'll have to catch up sometime very soon. Seraphina's gonna try to grab as many books as she can, as she's trying to like disengage from this conversation and try not to be too awkward about it. But as she's putting away her books, she'll just say, oh, you know, after we graduated, you know, Eidos and I, we went back to our homes and we got very bored. And now we've just been out and about wandering, putting our academic knowledge to practical use. So we've just been wandering about, and we came here to just brush up on some research. What are you doing here?
Well, I like work here. So I'm working currently, which is a bummer, but it pays the bills, and it's like not so bad. I get to like take free classes. Sorcery is not any easier, right? Oh my God, it's so rough. But like, seriously, why are you in the Warlock section, girl? Like, are you dating a Warlock? What's the tea?
Oh my gosh, I am, and I need to get some information about just how Warlocks use their magic, because it's so different from sorcerers, you know?
I knew it. You always liked a bad boy. Oh, wow. Well, shit, girl, it's like really good to see you. We definitely have to hang out while you're in town. Listen, no offense, but you weren't exactly known for being in the library. I had to tutor you, like, all through school. Like, I don't really buy that you're here just kind of reading books. What are you looking for? You're always up to something.
Well, we've just been, you know, getting into some shenanigans, but if you can find us at the Sandy Snowman, we can have a drink and we can chat some more. Seraphina's just trying to, like, slowly move away from the conversation. As she's putting away her books.
She rolled a 2 on that on that insight, so she does not like clock that you're like casually backing out of this conversation. She's like, oh my God, I will totally meet you at the Sandy Snowman. That place is like very cute. I haven't been there in a while, and it's right around the corner. So yeah, let's meet there. We'll get some drinks. You can let me know what kind of shit you're up to. Life is so boring lately. I'm so glad you're in town to cause some trouble.
Oh yeah, I will tell you all about this Warlock. We'll catch up with Eidos, and Seraphina's just like, I can't wait.
Already gone. She's like, okay, I'll
around
meet
the corner.
Tonight? You want to hang out tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll meet you after work. And you hear her, like, as you're walking away, you hear her, like, oh my God, Seraphina. And you hear her going about her work as you quickly shuffle away in your big dress. I didn't ask, did you keep the slip of paper you were holding? What did
Yeah,
you
I
do?
tucked it away into like my little. I definitely have like a book tote. I don't know. It's like
Yeah,
a
you have a
purse.
little yeah. Perfect.
Of course.
Got a book bag.
You have a bag of holding, I believe. I think that's a
Wait, I do.
enough.
I think that's
I don't
Bula.
think so.
I do.
Do we,
Yeah,
oh, did
Bula
Mary
and-
not give you one?
And then Marway might have one.
Marway has a little
Oh, that's
pouch.
it.
Got
That's
a
Yeah.
jar.
the
Yeah.
jar
Jar
of
of
gems.
holding.
Jar of gems.
Jar.
Okay, and that's a good point to take a quick break, as you all kind of are getting to the end of your wits trying to do research. You're all starting to go a little cross-eyed, looking through all these texts. So we're going to take a 10-minute break. Just a reminder, it's been a minute that we will be running 3 minutes of ads during the break, so thank you in advance for sticking around. Double thanks to our subscribers, our supporters, our followers. We love you. You're why we do it. We will be back at about 40, usually 45, if I'm being honest. 45 on the hour, so 9:45-ish, 8:40-ish, 9:40-ish. We'll be back. See you soon. Time. Thank you all for waiting. Before we went on break, the Gang of Heroes had returned to their regular plane of existence, specifically outside the Great Atheneum of Arendriel, where they are trying to research all kinds of things about Orin, about what possible artifacts or like celestial touched items they need to be looking for to further their quest. And they all found a good bit of information that they were looking for. However, they also learned that the real good stuff is going to be located within the Hall of Echoes, which is closed to the general public due to its very rare and delicate nature subjects that are housed there. So they'll have to find another way to access what they'd like to know another day. Gang, as you're all leaving the Atheneum, anything else you need to do on your way out?
As we're passing the front desk, Killian will go up to the librarian that's there, and just say, I was got caught up a little bit looking into the nature of the abyss. I didn't have the chance to look into Oasis, but I was hoping that the next time I come through, which would probably be tomorrow, I assume, would you be able to put some books aside for me potentially?
Specifically about Oasis? Sure. Any cross-reference or any other particular subject related to Oasis?
Yes, if there's any sort of literature that contains the words like divine eye, special eye, things of that nature, I would be most interested in those books.
She goes from writing to looking up at you and like clocks the not for the first time, but definitely clocks your eye. She's like, certainly I can do that.
Unrelated, yeah. This,
Totally.
For friends.
Not the same thing.
Naturally. Certainly I'll see what we can find if I have time tonight. I'll let you know if you were planning to return tomorrow.
I believe so. I believe we'll be back tomorrow.
All right. I'll let you know what the apprentices dig out.
If you could be so kind as to maybe also set aside some beginner instructional books about creating demiplanes. I know it's not really a beginner subject, but I don't really read common very well, and I couldn't really find anything.
Creating demiplanes. Interesting. Yes, I'll see what we have.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. Please enjoy your stay in Ozuled.
Can you get some Linolin text for me next time? Oh, I don't. Just
She is starting to get a little bit impatient, but she says, yes, Linolin text, I can do that.
Cool. You don't have a lot on Ere. Kind of.
I tried to tell you as much.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna
good night.
slide like a piece of gold across the table, and then kind of with my shawl just kind of do his little thing where he holds it out and runs and lets it fly in the wind.
She, you see her, glance sidelong at the other librarian who's got their back to her, the only other one that left at the desk, and quickly pockets it as you
Good for her.
as you float away. She
Bula's
looks slightly
stomach-
less crabby now.
Bula's stomach is just like growling so loud that the librarians are shushing her.
Well, you follow the initial directions to the sandy snowman, which is neither surrounded by sand nor snow, but rather green grass, as tends to grow in this area. It is
Rather deceitful.
a bit. It's quite a nice establishment. This city is a nice place. I mean, they have a good amount of wealth here. So this is, while being one of the nicer places you've all stayed at, certainly not the nicest place, even in Ozuled. But it'll do, as Bula immediately, like, the rest of you were rolling to investigate in the library, and she's rolling to sniff out dinner. And, the smell of dinner service coming wafting out of the big wide open front doors of the Sandy Snowman is just calling you home, Bula.
Oh, absolutely. I'm already like 3 steps ahead of them.
And you all go inside, and this is being a nicer place, even though it is both an inn in the upper story, or the upper floors. It's also like a full working restaurant in the bottom. And so they have a host stand. A young man is standing there ready to greet you. He says, welcome to the Sandy Snowman. How many in your party today, and do you have a reservation?
I immediately look to Seraphina.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
of
looking at
course,
with
Seraphina.
us.
of course we have a reservation. We have 7.
6.
What is the reservation under?
Lady Seraphina Blackthorn.
Roll deception. No, shit.
No.
What?
We absolutely have a
27?
reservation.
Check
Yeah.
again.
We had a VIP reservation.
My dad
There.
owns this place. Yeah.
You see him checking the list of reservation names. And he like looks a little bit flustered, like you see him like blush as he like looks at it again and again. And he's like, you know, the day host, he doesn't have very good handwriting. You said Seraphine, right?
Yes, of course. Is that in
Seraphine.
your logs?
Yes, I have you right here. Although it appears you initially planned for a party of 12. Are they on their way?
They are well on their way. Right now we just have 7. So we will get the party started.
Excellent. I shall show you to your table. And he puts his little ledger down, picks up 7 menus, and leads you to what is a reserved, like some kind of separate party room with like one long table set for 12 people. Like very beautifully set with like taper candles. There's some like little cakes and like already some desserts out on like little individual sized desserts out on the table already, little hors d'oeuvres. And there is a little like hand painted banner across like as a runner that says "Happy Birthday, Seraphine."
Oh no.
Before anybody
Yeah.
Before anybody can tell her not to, Bula's already eaten 4 of the cakes.
He says,
Seraphine.
"I hope everything is to your liking. Your server will be with you to get drink orders soon."
Oh, perfect. Seraphina sits at the head of the table.
I'd also sit next to her. So how old are you turning?
Not as old as you are. And Seraphina's like definitely older than Eidos.
A lady never tells. Chiffon is like, "This is a very nice place to eat. I am excited to see what they have." And she sits down and puts a little bib on to cover her pretty little dress. And soon enough, a server does come in. It's a large half-orc man, very finely, like crisp, all white suit, like with a cummerbund and a really nice like silk necktie, holding like he has like a napkin draped over his arm and already has a bottle of wine, and says, your mother called ahead, Miss Seraphine, and said this is your favorite vintage, and shows you the wine bottle, and says, if this is to your liking, I'd be happy to pour you all a glass.
And Seraphina will inspect the bottle. Yes, of course, thank you.
He nods and gracefully pours everybody a glass of this very fine. It's like such a dark red wine that it's almost like black in the goblet.
I pull out my goblet of the alcoholism.
Killian,
have very grape juice.
and Killian's actually going to refuse the wine and just stick with water.
Ula drinks hers down in one gulp. The whole glass.
She'll have another.
He rushes out and produces a few like ice buckets with the same brand or the same vintage but different bottles of the same wine and lays them out across the table and uncorks them all and continues pouring as he goes around the table to take your orders. So as you can see, our special tonight is a beautiful braised pork loin topped with a mushroom grown only in Thraz Newlim in the driest of climate. A mushroom grown in dry climate. Can you believe it? It's delicious. I cannot recommend it enough. Another option, if you are not the meat eater, we do have a lovely arugula salad topped with these beautiful pecans harvested straight from Cordia. Or you may order off of the menu a la carte. What can I interest each of you in? And I'm not going to make you go through your orders, but you'll order what sounds good to you. And he rushes off back to the kitchen after making sure all your wine goblets are still full for a moment and leaves you all to it. And just a few minutes later, you see Seraphina. You recognize your friend Mira is up at the host stand, like you kind of have line of sight of the host stand, and she asks for you by name. And again, the host like looks a little bit panicked, and then he's like, "Oh, yes, that's the big party, yes." And he like hustles her back into the room. He says, "Another one of your guests arrived," and he lets her sit down.
Like, how far away from me is like where is she sitting?
I mean, it depends. So, Eidos, you're sitting down by Seraphina. Did you guys leave any chairs open, or are you all sitting on one end of the table?
Seraphina's gonna put like a bag of like her library books on like the other side of her.
You don't want her to sit next to you. Okay. So she's sitting like as close as she can to you, but all your friends are around you, and there's a seat covered with a bag. So she's just kind of sitting like 4 or 5 chairs down. She's like,
Yeah.
"Hi, I'm Mira. Nice to meet you all." She's like a little shy, but kind of greeting each of you since she doesn't know who you are. And she says, "Eidos, good to see you. Been years."
Hey, Mira, how you doing?
You know, working hard, hardly working, all the above.
I wouldn't know.
So how do you all know each other?
Oh. Well,
We're
we went to
old
school together.
friends. Yeah.
The good old days. Yeah, go Bulldogs. She is notably awkward around groups.
The Nerdistan Bulldogs. Okay.
We're
Yeah, I didn't
proud
really-
school.
She says we didn't even have sports. It's weird that we even had a mascot. Anyway, yeah, we're old school friends. I actually used to tutor Seraphina for her sorcery classes. And you know, Eidos was there.
I was there doing my own studying.
Eidos didn't need a tutor.
No.
Yeah,
He was
I do
a little
recall
more
that.
studious.
Well, yeah, we just ran into each other at the Atheneum. That's where I work, and she said I should come have dinner. I didn't realize you guys had a whole party going. I feel like I'm crashing.
Oh wait, you work there?
What?
You work there at the Atheneum?
I do, yes, I'm an archivist.
Oh, excellent. We need to get into that restricted section of the
He's-
gods.
He's
I
joking.
knew it!
He's joking.
I knew you were there causing trouble! Oh, I just knew you hadn't changed a bit!
Oh yeah. We keep strange company, admittedly. At least the furry one, for sure. He says a lot of wild things you should never believe anything he says. But yeah, we were just doing some research at the library, and yeah, we were, barred from the section we wanted to go to. But we'll go through the process just like Anybody else, I suppose.
Not going
Unless-
through the process.
Oh, he's joking. He's joking.
Or we can have Serafina's friend help us because she seems like she wants to get into trouble too.
That's a good idea, Marway.
She says, well, if you're going through the official process, that's weeks. You plan on staying in town that long?
No.
We didn't want to.
We have this old, like, king guy that came back. His name's, like, Orn. We released him from a temple of one of the gods. of the
He's
Unwanted
so
Ones,
Donna.
and he's, like, coming
You are
to get
so
all
goodness.
the
He's had way
So
too much
Starts
to drink.
coughing.
You cracked
like-
me up, Donna.
She herself is like, I don't think I've had enough to drink, actually. And she pours herself a very full glass of the
Yeah,
wine.
help yourself. It's Serafina's birthday. They got the sign all wrong, but I'll talk to the manager about that later.
I could have sworn you were born in the spring. Oh, well, okay. Sure, happy birthday. I didn't know. Incredible.
It was a late
Mhm.
one because we were adventuring when she had her birthday.
Yeah, that's true. That's the one time he's not joking.
Adventuring. Tell me all about it. I'm so bored in those dusty stacks. I would love to go out there and stretch my sorcery skills. Tell me all
Well,
about
like
it,
I said-
Serafina. What kind of sorcery have you been up to? You finally figured it out, huh?
She's so good.
Yes. After we graduated, I came into my Blackthorn powers, and Ados and I have just been wandering the continent and stretching our legs and just getting in the sights and trying to get into the Hall of Echoes within the library. Can you help us with that at all?
Roll persuasion with advantage now that she's downing some wine and warmed up a bit to this crowd of strangers.
I have a 21.
Okay. Dang, you guys with the over 20s. She like sits back and she's like, you know, I really do like my job. You knew I was into studying. But it's been boring. I cannot tell you how bored I am. No one ever comes here. Everybody like spread out all over the world. I haven't seen Persephone or Crownalia or anybody from the old gang. You know what? Okay, you cannot tell anybody that I'm gonna tell you this, okay? Okay. So tonight there's this like auction happening. And there's a bunch of like archivists and all these different people here from Nerdistan, from the Sister College, from the Luminara, from all over the world even, because this auction is auctioning off like some really cool magic items. And the monks are assigned to help transport them back to where they're from in a couple nights. And so there may be a night that I could tell you about that, you know, the monks won't be around so much. There'll still be some floating around. They didn't send everybody, but I mean, it's kind of like they're going to be gone for a minute. And you could hypothetically find your way into the Hall of Echoes after hours.
Do you want to come with us to the Hall of Echoes?
I shouldn't. You're so bad. You've always been such a bad influence on me. Oh my god. Okay, like, really though? The monks will be gone, but there's still like plenty of arcane shit that you'll have to deal with to get in there. So I don't think you would be able to do it without me. So, like, yeah, I'm obviously gonna come help you because I'm trying to have a little bit of fun, okay? Don't judge me.
Yes. When's the last time you used your sorcerer powers?
My god, like, all I do all day is levitate books to shelves, levitate books to customers, levitate shelves up into the air. It's exhausting. I'm ready to do some, like, spicy shit, if you know what I mean. So,
Yes.
if you guys are, like, super ready to keep a secret and not tell anybody so I don't lose my job, because my parents would literally kill me, I think I could maybe help you.
I'm into it.
I'm super into it.
You said there was some arcane shit in there? Like, what do you mean? Like, traps or something like that? I don't, like, what do you mean?
Like, yeah, do you, like, know where you are? This is Ozuled. Like, everything is arcane. It's not so much that there's, like, traps. It's just that there's, like, lots and lots of locks on everything. There's, like, many, many doors that are always closed. And arcane locked and shit. I mean, there's like some different alarm systems back there that you don't want to trip, because then everybody's gonna come running and be like, yo, what's up? Yeah, it's just like a lot of different magics. And I mean, are you all sorcerers?
Well, Ados and I are, but yeah.
I'm
So-
no sorcerer, but I can take care of a door. She just like pats her big giant great axe.
I believe under your standards of sorcery, I would count for that.
Yeah, I
think
think
that's
I
what-
would too.
There you go.
Okay, well, I like you guys. Seraphina, you have always made the coolest friends. So yeah, anyway. 2 nights from now, you're gonna have to stick around for a minute. I'm so sorry you're gonna have to deal with me for a while. 2 nights from now is when all the monks are gonna go and take all the people from the auction. And then we can, like, try and get in there and see if we can make our way around all the arcane shit and find what you need. I guess, oh my god, like, what are you even looking for in the Hall of Echoes? That's probably what I should have asked first.
God-touched artifacts.
No.
Ooh,
That's so
that's where
funny.
those books are, so that makes sense. Okay. That's fair. I guess, is this like a need-to-know basis in case I get arrested kind of thing?
Yes, this is for your protection. It's probably best if we don't say.
Oh my god, this is just like that weekend in Thraz Newlam. Do you remember, Seraphina? Oh my god! You are such a bad influence. Okay. This is gonna be very fun. Do you guys want to go to that auction after we eat? Because that's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah,
absolutely,
I would love to. Yeah, we were just leaving. So
We just got here. The food hasn't come.
eaten her full
We are not
meal
leaving
yet.
before there is a meal here in front of me.
Ula will
Meals,
kill us. Seraphina.
eventually arrive while you're all kind of plotting. She's kind of describing some of the different like arcane locks, some of the alarm systems that are set. She doesn't know everything that's back there. Even she, as an archivist for a few years, hasn't seen everything that's back there. It's very limited access always, but she does know enough that you all start to feel kind of confident that maybe you're going to be able to pull this off, even though it is one of the most like guarded places in the world. And she seems excited.
can you tell us a little bit more about the items for auction tonight? Seraphina's very interested.
I don't know, but they're like crazy expensive, first of all. Like several tens of thousands of gold pieces per. Like, bring your platinum if you have it, if you're interested in getting something cool. I don't know what they actually are. They won't like tell you before the auction date. That way people aren't like, you know, trying to make deals behind the official backs of the people, whatever. Anyway, we can just like go and see. It's gonna be like pretty crazy. Weird stuff gets sold there. Last time I think they had an auction, I heard they sold an actual genie. Like, doesn't that seem like slavery? But whatever, it's not my place to say, I guess. But yeah, we should totally go. It's gonna be fun. We can like keep drinking. She finishes off into her bottle of wine, finishes her
Well,
plate of food.
In that case, we gotta do something for 2 days.
Sick. Awesome. And you guys finish this birthday dinner. At one point you hear you're like Lula is finishing desserts. More desserts have been like more like little individual cakes and cookies and things are being brought out as you go through them. You hear a kerfuffle up at the hostess stand. And you see this like gnomish girl, this like teenage gnomish girl arguing with the host. And like pointing at the room that you guys are sitting in and being like you can't hear them, but you see some gestures and the guy is running his down the list and he says like and he looks back at you and then he like calls over another guy, like another looks like maybe a manager and it's like talking to her, pointing at you guys. He's beet red, both of the workers, as there's a large group of people now in the foyer or in the like host area.
Seraphina is strongly avoiding eye contact.
Maybe it's time to settle our tab.
I think my mother had the tab, right? She ordered the wine.
I believe so. Yeah. For your birthday.
Perfect.
As I see things beginning to wrap up, I'm going to ask the spirits of sanctuary to aid us and cast Pass Without Trace on the group.
Dine and dash, guys.
No, we're not dashing. My mother paid.
Yeah, somebody's paying.
Okay, everybody roll a stealth as you try and pass without a trace through the restaurant. You get a +10 to that, right, Marway?
That's correct.
Your rolls? Yep, go ahead and
Oh.
roll and add 10 to your stealth.
Serafina has a 5.
Okay.
25.
That's a 15. That's a 15 though. So.
Yeah.
Marway, you said 25?
Uh-huh.
Ados?
20.
I got a 10.
Robin?
20.
Wait, you got a 10 plus the 10, right?
It's
You
just
couldn't
plus
roll-
10.
Oh,
You
it's
get a
10
plus
I,
10
I
to
did
pass
plus,
without a
you get a
trace.
plus 10.
Oh, no, I
Wait,
got a
everybody
20.
gets a +10? Oh,
Yeah.
Everyone.
I
Yeah.
see. Then I have a 14.
I got a nasty 20.
Dirty 20. You got that
You filthy,
nasty,
filthy
dirty
20.
Okay, did anybody get below below 12?
I rolled a 2, but I have +7, so that's a 19.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so you start to make your way out of, like, you all very quickly gather up your things and start to leave that, the little private room. You see, I mean, that crowd is, like, in the front door. There's no way to sneak past them. But you see, like, the kitchen doors are sort of swinging off in the back of the dining room. And you make your way back to those doors instead. And pass without a trace. It does not make you invisible by any means.
No.
You are just a bunch of unintelligible kind of creatures just in a huddle moving through this space, and a bunch of the cooks are like, "Oi, what's going on?" And you guys just like hustle out the back door, like out into the alley next to some big like trash dumpsters essentially, and run away as quickly as you can as a manager comes bursting out like yelling behind you. And Mira is like, "God, I knew when you came into town you'd be stirring some shit up, Servina. This is so funny. Oh my
You're
god.
having the best night.
Truly.
Look at the
I haven't had
auction.
such fun in years." Ados, you too. Oh my god, it's so good to see you guys. Okay, yeah, let's go to the Mages Guild. And she leads you all once you're a couple blocks and you can slow down because the manager is done chasing you. She said she leads you to the Wandering Rostrum. It's a very extravagant venue. It has just like it's sort of like a theater sort of box office in the front. You can give your tickets. In this case, the doors are just open because it's sort of a public auction. But there is like a good amount of security detail inside the main foyer, which is really just it's a small room, a bar, a small like wet bar on each wall, and then this large set of double doors, which are open up into an auditorium that people are filing into. And it appears it's going to be starting very soon. Most people are already inside sitting in this big auditorium. But you're welcome to like grab drinks on your way past the bars. And a couple of the
How long
bouncers.
did it take us to get there?
Probably like 7 minutes. It's not far from where you were. It's in the same neighborhood. So yeah, you all head inside. You go into this large auditorium through these double doors, and it is this massive domed room with a big domed ceiling. Half of it is like stained glass in like different stripes and swirls. And the center of it is right now it's got this like protective sort of like magic dome shining over it, but there's a central stage instead of a stage on one wall. It is a central stage with seating all the way around it, and stairs leading down to it. So it's sort of tiered seating, looking down on this central small platform that is magically rotating slowly and under this dome of protection. And you see 4 sort of pillars, each with a different item on them, kind of showing the goods before the auction gets started. And people are sitting quietly, just kind of whispering in this domed room, just chit-chatting and postulating about what might be the items on the podiums. It's pretty crowded.
I'd also go to the bar and grab a couple flutes of drinks, one for Seraphina and him, and go find a row with enough seating for 7, 8, I guess.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Do you all follow behind him, or does anybody do anything weird, different?
Seraphina will follow, but she's kind of like goosenecking to try to see if she can see what the items are.
Okay.
Ados will pass the drink to her.
Just drinking.
Roll Arcana as you try and just make out what's on the pillars.
I have a 19.
Okay, very cool. What you see is an amulet. It is almost like you have to like really squint to see it, but it's almost got these like veins of glowing orange running through this like dark black stone, very smooth stone. And it looks very like naturalistic. It's not like a designed amulet. It's just a natural piece of something on a chain. And it's on like sort of a bust display. Another item sort of rotates past. It's a blade of some kind, like a dagger. Beautiful, and it is, even from where you're sitting, like they have it like rotated so that it's constantly like you're not looking at the flat of it, you're looking at the sharp edge of it, and it is almost like invisible when it's like perfectly aligned. It is so razor sharp and thin. There is a quill. You guys have seen magical quills before. This one's a little different. It is, what did you roll on that Arcana?
19.
19. Anybody who's looking at the quill, roll for me an animal handling.
Ooh,
Another
Bobby
20?
got it.
Bobby. Go, Bobby.
Shoot, y'all.
So that's going to be a total of 27.
Wow.
Incredible. Marway, you're not like studying them like Seraphina is, but you're like, oh, look, a phoenix feather. And it's made into a quill of some kind. And it's sort of displayed. It's on this like little display stand, so the quill is sort of showing to the crowd. But there is a piece of parchment like beneath it, ready to be written on. And then the last thing comes rotating by, and it is, it's on this whole mannequin, and it appears to be like a cloak type garment. Very, very shimmering, like unnaturally shimmering with light and sparkle and glitter. That's all you can really tell about that. It's unnaturally beautiful. Or
Oh,
maybe
I like that one. It's very sparkly.
Well, maybe to get a number and bid on it.
Seraphina definitely grabs a paddle. She thinks she's gonna like.
She has a chance.
Yeah. She's getting in there.
Okay, and before long, the auctioneer comes down the stairs. The doors are left open behind them so that stragglers can still come in and go as they want. The auctioneer is this very regal half-elf woman, comes sweeping down the stairs through the crowd, steps up onto the pedestal, the magical sort of dome over the items protecting it disappears, and she stands up on the middle of this rotating platform. And she announces, welcome to the Wandering Rostrum. Our annual Mages Guild auction will begin now. Ladies and gentlemen, behold our first item of the evening, the Emberlace Amulet. Forged in the volcanic heart of Mount Carathis and adorned with veins of living fire, this amulet grants its wearer unparalleled resistance to flame. Not merely a shield, it empowers the wielder to unleash an inferno with a flick of their wrist. Legend says it was once worn by the pyromancer queen of Thilshow, who wove rivers of magma into her palace walls. A piece of history, power, and art. Who dares claim it? We will start the bid at 20,000 gold pieces.
Seraphina's like about to
Ados-
raise her paddle.
Ados-
She's like,
Ados puts his hand on top of her paddle. Don't you dare.
And the bidding is a little bit exciting for this one. The bidding goes all the way up to 52 gold before no one else is willing to bid. And
Oh, in
that's
that case,
52,000. Sorry.
I was gonna say 52 gold. Hey,
let's go.
draw that up.
I
5.2
would
thousand.
imagine somewhere in that bidding, Maraway lifts up a paddle, gets called on, and everyone else is like, "No."
Who gave
And you're
him
so
one?
excited. You just got caught up in the moment. And the piece is claimed, and that person goes out into the sort of foyer to sign off on the paperwork and make their payment as the bidding continues on the next item. An assassin's dream and a warrior's nightmare, the Whisper Blade is a dagger of unparalleled precision. Its edge never dulls, and its surface drinks light, casting no reflection. More than that, it silences the air around it. Every strike is as quiet as a secret kept. Forged by the shadow elves of the Underdark Court, it is said to have ended the lives of kings and whispered curses into the ears of tyrants. Who among you has the stealth and the coin to wield such a deadly treasure? Bidding will start at 50,000 gold pieces. And once again, bidding this time is, you notice there's a giant in the room, like a literal giant, who bids on this quite a few times. A couple other, this is a highfalutin crowd, but it would appear the more rugged of this crowd are the ones bidding this time. And it sells for 120 gold pieces, 120,000 gold pieces. Sorry.
Important distinction.
Yes, very.
Just a little bit.
Eidos, how much money do you have?
I think around 100 gold.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's all yours if you can talk him down to it.
Seraphina's very disappointed.
Okay.
Maraway is just gonna lean over to Bula and just very, very simply ask, "Why exactly are we here if we don't have enough money to do anything?"
I don't know. I was kind of hoping there'd be free snacks. I mean, I'm not going to argue with free drinks, but I could use an after dinner snack.
Hmm.
Well,
This,
Molly, if you see them, maybe we can take it from them later. You know, maybe if they don't need it anymore, we can take it for ourselves. It's always good.
Eidos,
And it's always good to know what people have certain things, you know, just in case you need them
I think
for later.
Eidos overhears that and kind of leans over and says, "Oh, like stealing.
No, taking them.
We don't steal, do we, Maraway?"
Seraphina will
Hello.
lean to Mira and just say, "Oh, he's joking again."
He's so funny today. Guys, just joke after joke.
A very fancily dressed goblin woman in the row in front of you turns around and whispers to Bula, having overheard your conversation, says, "They do serve hors d'oeuvres after the auction if you stick around long enough."
Are those
She says-
tiny foods?
Yes, those are tiny foods, yes.
Why does
If
everybody
you want to, we could
fancy
just go
tiny
find a
food?
tavern or something and get you like a chicken leg or something.
Yes, that.
And she
Need any of
kind of
these?
haughtily turns back around, not impressed.
Well, I never.
Too much that energy. From a goblin, it's a little bit like, oh, wow. The auction continues. Crafted from the feather of an astral phoenix, the astral quill of Athelar writes not with ink but with threads of starlight. Its words shimmer with power, binding contracts unbreakable even by gods, and recording spells directly into the weave itself. Legend has it the last person to wield this quill inscribed a single spell that reshaped the course of history. For scribes, scholars, and sorcerers alike, this artifact is not just a tool, it's a legacy. Shall we begin the bidding at 30,000 gold pieces? And as
Okay.
this bidding goes on, go ahead. What's that?
I was gonna say, like I said, guys, that's probably a good one to know where it's at. Just saying, who's got that one?
I might have to agree with you on that one. That's just a little powerful.
Everybody roll a perception roll as this bidding is underway.
Ooh,
Ooh, Bula.
Wow.
Did you
Seraphina
get
has
it?
I got this.
That's the opposite of good.
I got the 23.
I got a 21.
Yeah, mine ends up
Good,
being a
Eidos.
23.
Seraphina has a 6. She's just admiring the ink.
Yeah.
Of the
I
pen.
just want to say, with my natural 1, I still have an 8.
It's still a natural one, though.
It is a natural 1, though.
Killing it.
Seraphina's just envisioning what she would do with such a quill.
15 for Killian.
Thank you. Okay, Eidos, Maraway, and Bula. The three of you have grown quite bored of this at this point. And you're all just kind of sort of more people watching, taking in the sight of this various crowd of people. You notice over the course of a couple minutes, a few people entering the room. It's been like pretty much the group has not grown since the auction started. Not a lot of late stragglers showed up, but at this point, a few people are a couple minutes apart each, and sort of spreading out in the crowd, finding seats. You notice as the bidding goes on, they are not with those high rolls. They're not watching the bidding. They're not even particularly like paying attention to what's happening. They are looking around the room and toward the door. Killian, you notice this as well. You just don't have quite the you're not catching sort of the ominous vibe of the people that have come in, or the fact that they are, they're not looking as interested as the rest of the group in the auction that's going on. And you guys notice, one last person enters the room, and she closes the door behind her. The big double doors, and sort of Bula and Maraway, you both notice sort of a whispered and hand gesture of a spell behind her.
Bula's just gonna
Mara-
kind of lean over to Killian and say, "Why do I suddenly feel like a chicken that's been locked in a pen with some foxes? They look awful guilty."
Who are we looking at?
She starts to point out to him what she's seeing.
Yeah, you point
And-
out a dwarven woman, sort of the last group of people who entered. 3 goblins have entered, 3 more goblins, not as nicely dressed as the lady sitting in front of you. The lady who closed the doors is still just standing at the doors, just in front of them, staring down at the podium. There was a drow man who entered with like a shaved head. One of the goblins has made their way like through the aisles and sat sort of behind you all. You point them out to Killian.
I'm going to, with the message cantrip, just kind of one by one point out to the rest of the group so that I'm not noticed by our new friend that is sitting directly behind me.
Okay, what do you say?
It is going to say, danger, we're being surrounded, doors are locked.
Anybody doing anything?
As we get this message, Seraphina is gonna nudge Mira. She'll say,
Mira is clueless. She is clueless. And she like looks around and she's like, "For what? Oh my god, are you gonna do something crazy?"
Seraphina just tries to give her eyes like.
Okay. Go on.
And in case anything crazy happens, I want to attempt to try to keep my head down a little bit, so I'm not like the first person that they're like, "Ooh, this bitch is starting shit." And I would think that my Pass Without Trace is still active.
It's how long does your pass without trace last?
An hour.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think it's probably been a short enough time that it's not going to be active for very much longer. But yeah, you've still probably got a good 15 minutes left on it. This auction's pretty slow and steady.
Can Killian, hearing the message, let's use a channel divinity to activate his divine sense?
Yeah, sure.
So as I just kind of lights up a little bit. And one thing he notices is that, like, around himself, he didn't notice this before, but there's like almost like he just sees like radiant aura around himself that he's never seen before. It's kind of like a brand new sensation. It stretches out pretty far. And then does he see like anything else in the room?
As far as celestials, fiends, or undead, no, not so much. You see there is an ASMR that is pinging as celestial, but they're pretty obviously an ASMR. They have the big wings that are sort of tucked over their chair, the back of their chair. They ping as celestial. He's like
Zara
also
will
fancily
get
dressed
up
man.
like he's going to the bar.
Okay,
Hey,
so you're gonna like walk up to the door.
Yeah, to the bar. Like, where to the bar?
Yeah.
Is the bar like outside?
It's back out in the foyer, so outside the door.
So he'll start
Oh.
walking that way towards
Okay.
the lady.
And
It also-
I would like to pull Eden out of my pocket dimension, but like under my seat, so like under where my legs would be. So they're not like, whoa, shit! Look, there's an animal in the middle of this auction.
Okie dokie.
Poor animal.
Bula starts to kind of slide her hands down towards like her axe and her dagger, and then all of a sudden there's glowing beside her from Killian. She just, dude, you're glowing on me. What are you doing? Tuck that back in.
Don't know how.
I get that. I've had that issue before.
Bula's next to me, yes.
And
I'm
Chiffon's
gonna
on your
slide
side.
my hand into her bag and kind of grab onto my staff inside the bag, but not pull it out yet.
Okay. Anybody doing anything else to kind of prepare
Sure.
in this last moment of?
Yeah, Ados will cast innate sorcery on himself.
Okay. Okay.
Last thing, Killian will just kind of lean over to Seraphina and say, Does Mira know how to handle herself?
Better than you can.
That's not true. I've seen her. She can't.
Seraphina turns to Mira and she's like,
She does not get it. She's like, so, like, she thinks you guys are about to, like, pull a funny prank, it looks like. She's like, this is gonna be so weird. Okay, yeah, you guys are all kind of, like, poised on the edge of a knife here, trying to see what's gonna happen next, getting ready for anything to come. The auctioneer, you know, that item gets sold. You all kind of jump at the sound of the gavel hitting, announcing the last item is about to be auctioned off. And at that moment, the goblin behind you all stands up and yells out, all right, all you fancy folk, go ahead and put your hands in the air, stay in your seats. This is gonna be a robbery. Everybody stay calm and we're all going to leave quite happy. And the other three goblins, along with the rest of the crowd that you all rolled high enough to see enter, all stand up drawing various weapons from what would appear to be like sacks of holding or like different like hiding hidden places that they would have gotten past the security out in the foyer. And everybody roll initiative.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Seraphina has 5.
Okay.
Ados has 17.
Bula
Wait,
has
Monterey
12.
hat.
Karen, just wait
Bula
for you
has
to
12.
put up the battle map whenever you're ready.
Oh, yes. Okay, Marway, what was your initiative?
16.
Zada?
17.
Killian?
14.
And let me roll for Siobhan's. Siobhan got a 14. Okay. The lady at the door, the one who locked it, Zada, you've approached her, and as you were walking up the stairs and about to like make contact with her, that is when the goblin on the other side of the room stood up. And you turn to face her, and she immediately clocks you as kind of a threat, so she's gonna go ahead and cast. She's gonna cast a crazy spell that you've never seen before on you. Go ahead and roll an intelligence save for me.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Not the good
Oh,
ones
no.
for Zada. Not the good one. Okay. What do I have? Good. Yeah, that's that's gonna be a 15. Because I got a -1. So that's
Yeah,
a
okay. Good roll. Barely saves. So you are going to take a whole lot of dice, my dude. 20 psychic damage.
Ouch.
Ouch. That hurts my head.
Oh yeah. And it's sort of the spell manifests as this like breath, sort of that like she exhales in this like massive cone, also catching the one person sitting close enough, sort of to the aisle, and they immediately drop to pass out.
And they're dead.
Yeah. And she'll also just hold out a hand and be like, back up now. We said you wouldn't get hurt if you followed instructions. And that'll be her turn. Eidos, you're up.
So how many enemies do we have here? Was it 4? 3
Okay, so
goblins?
I'll try and point them out on the map. You've got a goblin behind you. They're all kind of the ones that are actual like face tokens. So you've got a goblin behind you.
Okay.
A goblin to like the bottom right of the map in the back row. The dwarf woman is up by the stage, just to the left of the stairs. The lady by the doors. There's a goblin to our left of the stairs. And then there is the drow sitting to the left of the stage in the front row.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm going to point at the goblin behind Chiffon here, and I'll cast Mind Spike at 2nd level. That's going to be a Wisdom 16 saving throw.
You said the goblin behind you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I roll a saving throw?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, it's a Wisdom 16 saving throw.
Oh, gotcha. I obviously did not.
No, you just die, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's done.
Immediate.
I did a
4.
spell.
They
That's
don't
a 4.
exist at
A 4?
all anymore.
All right. I like it. A 4, 6, 9 points of psychic damage. So berate him.
Down he goes. Unconscious.
Oh.
Oh, well, there you go. This should be easy work.
Certainly. There can't be any twists.
No, of course not.
Ooh, what a tweet.
Fairly straightforward.
Anything from you?
Seraphina will nudge Eidos, be like, "Good job."
Thanks. It's no big thing. All in a day's work, and is that all I'm doing? I think that it is.
Okay. Zada, that's your turn.
Zada's going to turn to the woman. He's like, I'll only say this once. Surrender or die.
She laughs.
That's your answer. And then he just bursts into flames as he goes elemental. So he's in fire cat mode, and he's going to rush up to her very, very quickly. And he's going to do one attack, and his first attack is going to be a stunning strike. I finally have it, guys. I have stunning strike.
Yay!
New stun. It's a new stunning strike, so it's not as cool, but it is a stunning strike nonetheless. So, put down my features. Stunning strike. When you hit, I gotta see if I can hit first. That would also probably be a good idea. Well, that's a natural 20, so that's probably gonna hit her real
Nice, yeah.
hard.
Yep, that hits.
Yeah, so that's a natural 20. She's got to make a Constitution saving throw, DC 14.
Okay. That's an 18.
Okay, she succeeds, but her movement is still halved.
Okay.
And the next attack against her is made with advantage, because that's the new stunning strike. I can only do it once per turn, though, so that makes me sad. But it is a natural 20. So
Okay.
that is going to be a good amount of hurt. So that's going to be a D8. Because my damage went up, guys. My martial art dice
So
went
proud of you.
up. I know. So good. So that's it. So we're doing our rules. So that's an automatic 8 plus an additional 6. So that's 14 points of damage. Well, 18 points of damage as I punch her straight in the gut. That'll be fire
Ouch.
damage if that matters.
It does. She barely knocks the wind out of her.
Okay. Then I will switch
Yikes.
probably back to lightning, go back to thunder, and then I will cast, as a bonus action, I will cast Shield of Faith.
Okay. And that it for Zada?
That'll be
Okay.
it for Zada.
Alrighty. One of the goblins is gonna go. Let's see which one, if I can find them. I made a big old map, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Big-
hilarious. Alrighty. They are going to get up from their seat and charge forward to try and get to the stage. Range 30. And they're gonna dash to get in as close as they can. And they run right up to the podium. They just barely make it short of where they can reach the auctioneer. Marwa, your turn.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
We're gonna. Oh, let's get off that ruler. We're gonna move over between Bula and Eidos, so that I can cast Bless on Bula, Eidos, and Killian.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And then we're gonna have Eden kind of creep her way closer to the stage, but not quite on it.
Okay. Cool.
Um,
And just so you know, kind of like the gold is like 3 feet off the ground, and then the first circle of gray is like 3 feet up from that, and then the final platform is like another 3 feet. So it's still within like stepping distance, but it's sort of like 3 stages going up after all the platforms have gone down.
mhm. Perfect. That's gonna be it for this turn because I don't have any cool bonus actions.
Okay, cool. Then it is the auctioneer's turn. And they very quickly cast a spell that clearly like puts that protective sort of magical aura over the inner stage. And then they just move around to try and punch this goblin. Oop. Hold on, I'd be drawing.
Yep.
Because they don't have any other concentrations that they can use. So they're just going to roll an unarmed strike and hope that it hits. That does not hit. They are not built for fighting. Killian, your turn.
All right. So protective dome is over the middle. Which one of these is Seraphina's BFF? Which one of these
it's
faces?
the one with the purple ring that's sitting close to you. So
Okay.
one seat away from you, there's a person with a purple ring.
Gotcha.
That's Mira.
Alrighty. Killian is going to head. He's going to head towards the direction of the dwarven lady. He's just going to go like right about here. And from there, he's going to use guiding bolt. So a mote of light comes out of his eye and just kind of tracks and traces towards the dwarven lady that's there.
Okay.
So the attack. Ooh, that's a 23, 27 to hit.
Yeah,
with the
definitely.
plus. All
For
right.
sure.
And then the damage is not that great, but so what is that? 12 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
And they got a little shimmery shine to them for
Cool,
advantage against them.
Alrighty, nice.
And that's it.
Okay. Chiffon's turn. She's gonna do something a little silly. She's gonna start throwing darts, baby. And she's gonna aim for what's the closest enemy to her? Probably gotta move. 60 feet. Let me measure. She's just gonna move a bit. Can reach from there. As like the people in front of her are like cowering. Yeah, she's just within range. Okay, and she hits with a dirty 20
Oh, filth.
against the drow
Mm-mm-mm.
for only 3 points of piercing damage.
Oh no. Bless her heart.
She's
Time to
always
make $1.
okay, and that's it for her turn. Now it is gonna be the dwarf's turn. So she doesn't like whatever the fuck Killian just did. So she's coming at you with a crossbow. That is only a 5 to hit.
Does not hit.
Didn't think so. A multi-attack. That's a 9 to hit.
That does not hit.
Attacks now.
Bummer. Wasted 2 crossbow bolts. Bula, your turn.
All right. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna bonus action rage. Because why can't we go anywhere where they have normal sized food and or people not trying to shoot us?
God damn mini
Honestly.
tiny foods.
Irritates her. She's gonna
We just-
rage. And then she's gonna move towards whichever one is closer to her.
Okay, that's gonna be, let me measure here for you. The drow is 100 feet away, the dwarf is 70 feet away.
The
So your
dwarf.
best bet in a straight line is gonna be the dwarf.
Okay. So that puts me, you said 70 feet away?
Mm-hmm.
So that puts me within 30 feet. Okay.
What's
We're
your
gonna
speed?
throw
on-
it-
Yeah.
Oh, 40. 40, yeah.
Okay.
So
And as she moves, my hand that was on the staff is just gonna whoosh, as she's going.
Yeah, pull that straight out of there. Okay. She's gonna throw a hand axe.
Alright.
First, as she rages.
And you're blessed.
They get that D4.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag
Hashtag
blessed.
blessed. Okay.
Also, I forgot.
So as she starts to rage, you see this, like she's running down that way, and all of a sudden, this just giant glowing light emanates from her chest, and she kind of stops, and it just kind of,
Radiant cleavage, here it goes.
she told Killian sometimes she glows too, and she can't do anything about it. So it's gonna go straight at the dwarf that she was going at. So we need a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Oh, nat 20 for 21.
Oh, come
Oh
on.
no.
Okay. So, okay, I guess nothing happens then.
Okay.
Except he's just really heckin' confused.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so is this the one that we still have advantage against because of
Yeah.
whatever killing you did? Okay, so I
First
have
attack.
advantage and blitz. So, ooh, hot dog. Nice. Okay, so just a 24 hit.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sorry. It would be a 23. I lied.
Still hits.
Okay, so I'm throwing this hand axe. Right. For 10 points of damage.
Don't forget, like I did, and forget that you have another attack, because I
Oh,
did that. You do have 2
Oh.
attacks, because...
Yeah. So she's gonna throw the other hand axe that she has. But it's only advantage the first time, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
They are holding on by a thread.
Yikes. It might not matter. I wasted all my good rolls a minute ago.
You got lucky.
You got lucky.
Yes, does a 13 hit? Or
Yes.
can I ask that before I decide to... Oh, it hits.
You have to
okay.
decide... You have to use the lucky before.
Okay, well, I didn't. And that's going to be 12 points of damage with that one.
They go down.
With a hand axe in their forehead.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Gotta hand it to Bulla. She does some good hits.
Yeah,
Nice and bloody.
that's what she does. All
She makes
right.
hits.
So he's got 2 hand axes just like sticking out of him.
Nice. And they are unconscious.
And she's just like kind of checking out. Now that she's got him down, she's kind of looking like, again? Daggone it. Just like kind of looking down at her chest, like, ah.
Okay. Oop. All right. It is another goblin's turn. They're gonna go at Zada with a crossbow. Oh, that's a 14 to hit, Zada?
Nope.
Alrighty.
Not today.
And they're also gonna move in toward the stage as people dive out of the way. They're trying to like hide and cower behind their chairs as this chaos is erupting. The drow's gonna go do something crazy. The drow is casting a spell, and suddenly the center of kind of this like protective orb it is like obscured in darkness. Seraphina, your turn.
Seraphina is going to target the drow that just cast everything into darkness. She really wants to impress her old friend Mira. She's going to cast 2 bolts of Eldritch Blast.
Ooh, I don't know what I just did.
You made it.
I made it crazy. Hold on.
You made no map.
There we go.
24 to hit.
To the drow, yeah, that hits.
Okay, so that's 14 damage. One second. And then also 11 damage.
Oh, you have
for
to
the
roll
second
again
roll.
to hit.
Yep.
Oh, I have to roll again to hit? Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
That is, oops,
11.
11 to hit.
Unfortunately,
that-
you are not hashtag blessed.
No, that does not hit that time.
She got one. She got one.
Got
That's
one.
pretty good.
That's what matters.
Controlling 2 beams at the same time, that's hard work.
It's new
I
to her.
contributed to the group.
Mira's like, yeah, that's the Seraphine I know. You got the one.
Was that a read?
Frenemies, maybe. She's like, okay, this is crazy. I don't like whatever this is. I thought this was gonna be fun. And she casts a shield on herself, to protect herself. And she's just gonna kind of try and like move back. She's not used to this kind of lifestyle, so she's gonna back up to the wall, get out of the way.
Seraphina will say, Mira, get in there! Do your thing! Do the pew pew!
I'm doing my thing. It's called not getting unalived. Thank you. And we come back around to the top of the order. We've got the lady by the doors. She is going to... she disappears from sight.
Naturally.
Naturally.
What do you mean by that?
You can't see her.
Gone.
Just like winked out, or did she like sidestep behind a door, or
You didn't see her. You saw her cast a spell, and she is no longer visible.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, did the drow do I'm sorry if I missed this. Did he do a concentration check for that darkness?
Oh, when he got hit? Let me see.
Yeah.
No, we did not. Darkness is a concentration, yep. So let me roll that. That was an 18 for 20. It maintains it. Thank you for the reminder. Okay, yeah, and so the lady disappears from sight. And it is Ado's turn. Ados' turn.
Real quick, may I make an Arcana check to see if that was Misty Step?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and roll Arcana.
Oh Jesus. That's a 26.
A 26.
Wow.
Not naturals though. They're fake.
They're not real.
Not
They're
real.
just as good.
Yeah, with that awesome roll. Not only do you know it was not Misty Step, it looked like the invisibility spell.
Oh, that bitch. Okay, excellent.
Dirty.
I mean, I have that spell, so it would make sense I would know what it looks like.
Exactly, yes. Okay.
Ados will finally get out of his chair. Say, can't we just have one good night?
One.
20 and 30. That's his walking. See if I'm close enough. No. Ah, God, I'm not close enough. Okay. Alright, well in that case, I'm going to attack the drow on the opposite side.
You can't see through the darkness, though.
The drow
Where is it?
isn't under darkness. The center
What
of the
is-
stage is. The goblin and the aucautioneer and the auction items.
Would he not
I'm
have
just-
to see through the dome?
You can't. That's the
to-
thing.
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
yeah, you're
dome-
right. You
The
cannot
dome
see.
is darkness.
That's
So
correct.
in
It
the
is-
dome, you cannot see through it. It is
Yeah.
completely.
Is this chess rules? Because I already moved my piece. I'm staying there?
No, I'll let you rearrange because you.
Okay.
Yeah, you can move to where you would be, knowing that there's darkness in the center of the stage that you can't see through.
Yeah, I was trying to get close enough to where the person disappeared. But I'll just go this way instead. And shoot a chromatic orb at this homie.
Okay.
Let's see. That is going to be 26 plus what Marway gave me.
4, that hits.
4.
Sweet. Math. 19 points of thunder damage.
They go down, and the darkness on the stage dissipates.
And that's my move.
Well done.
Okay.
Well struck.
Zada.
Zada will kind of sniff the air and he says, "Don't worry, you can't run far. When you appear, I'll find you." And then he will just go. Whoops. Come on, Zada. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And the dome is not down, right? It is. There's a protective barrier right there, right
Correct.
now.
Yeah.
All right. Go here, and then he will. Can't really hit anything from there. I think. Goes down. Nope, it's too far. He'll just take the dodge action for now. Because that dwarf is down, right? I'm pretty sure that.
Yeah, they're
is
down. I just can't mark them off.
Oh,
Yep.
oh yeah.
Awesome.
Wait. I can go hit that guy. I forgot there was another boy over there. Go actually over here and slap this boy.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I totally forgot he was there.
so quiet.
Does a 10 hit? I don't think so.
No.
All right, second attack. That is a 24 to hit.
Yeah.
Go off. That's 4 points of damage, and then I will bonus action hit. Unarmed strike. That's only a 9 to hit, so that doesn't hit. So he takes 4 points of damage. 4 points of thunder damage. And that'll be end of Zob's turn.
And they go down with that extra thunder damage.
So does that just leave our invisible friend?
Invisible woman.
I believe so. Let me check our battlefield. 1, 2, 3.
And Kara,
So the
remember
drow
this
is
is
down, right? Yeah.
he doesn't do, it's just the damage that he will be doing is 4 points of thunder damage, not an additional 4 points of thunder damage. It's only 4.
Oh, the total was 4 for that whole turn.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh, I thought it was okay. Okay, so
No,
he's
no,
not quite
just,
down yet.
just 4 thunder damage was all
4
I
flat.
did to him.
Okay, so he's not down yet.
5, sorry, 5, because I have a +4, so.
Okay.
5.
Okay. He ain't going down that easy. Okay. So yeah, you still have that goblin Zada's right in front of, and then your invisible friend, I believe. Wait, where's my third? 1, 2. I lost a goblin. Oh, and the goblin that's under the thing before the spell went
yeah,
off.
but no one
Under the
can hit
zone.
him. But no one can hit him.
Correct. It is his turn. That's why I was like, wait, where'd he go?
Hold on.
I lost a goblin. He pulls out a scimitar and is going to try and stab the auctioneer.
Damn.
It was only an 8 to hit, so the auctioneer manages to dodge. Marwa, your turn.
Oh, perfect. Well, they're invisible, so I don't really know what I can really do here. So let's get rid of the ruler. We're just gonna move 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And we got 35. Does this magic dome look as if I could probably get a spell into it, or does it look pretty beefy?
Well, you know that the darkness spell managed to occur within the dome, under the dome. So it would appear that it kind of depends on the spell.
Excellent. So we're gonna attempt to send a sanctuary into the auctioneer.
Okay.
For my bonus action.
Okay.
Does that work?
You concentrate on the spell. And yes, what is the radius of that spell?
30 feet.
How big is it? Okay, so you're trying to cast it to where it's only covering the auctioneer?
Oh, it just goes on him, yes. It
Okay.
just goes on him, and if anyone wants to try to make a attack against him, they have to make a wisdom saving throw first, or they can't.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Is he currently holding the item, or did the goblin get it?
The items are all at this point, kind of all on this central table. The mage took a second to move everything toward the middle as the bidding was happening. And the goblin hasn't, reached for them yet. For the items. So they are still on that central table next to them.
Alright, I am going to, for my action, I can't get my character sheet up to do this. No. I don't know if you can pull Huthamer in, but I'm going to throw him inside of the bubble. Oh, there we go. I've got it back now.
You want to summon him inside the bubble?
Yes.
Okay.
So extra, right...
I don't know why he's not showing up, little guy.
Right here. Hold on, I think I can pull him now. Are you under? Oh my gosh. I pushed the drawing thing and now my drawings are everywhere. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, I'll erase it. That's good.
Oh my
I do
god,
it all
this
the time.
happens to me every time I push it.
I do it too, all the time.
And so I need the goblin to make a dex save, please.
Okay. Damn, I'm not rolling good. That was a 5 total.
Oh, excellent. We love to hear it. Ooh, there's a good one. Alright, so that's going to be 9 points of lightning damage onto him.
Nice. Damn, the goblin goes down cold. I like to think Marway does that little dance that you just did.
Probably totally just... He doesn't like committing violence, but he is totally supportive of his friends who do.
The cheerleader. He's like, good job!
Yeah. He might not be a murderer, but he's definitely an accessory.
Alright.
That's gonna be it for me.
Okay, cool. Killian, you're up.
Alright, so pretty much everyone is down except for the one Zada is going up against. Killian will run up to the stage, get about here, and he will use Sacred Flame against the goblin.
Okay.
So he stares at him really hard with his divine
the
eye. At
The goblin over by Zada?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's got to make a dexterity saving throw.
Cool.
Give him the
He's-
stink eye.
Yeah, the divine stink eye.
The divine stink eye.
That was a 7.
Ooh, he gets burned with 10 points of radiant stink eye damage.
That stink eye sends him down, sends him packing.
It's stinky.
It's so stinky.
So
You
stinky.
you just watch in
Horrible.
front of you, Zada. He just erupts in like a white yellow flame in front of you.
Yeah, awful. Incredible.
And that's it.
Okay, Chiffon is gonna go ahead and do something again. He doesn't really want to use her pistol. She's just gonna throw some more darts. Why not?
Who's she throwing the darts at?
Yeah.
She's just, at this point, she's trying to see if they'll pierce the magical veil. Because she doesn't know what else
Okay.
to do.
Got it. I'm like,
When in
don't
doubt,
get
throw
very-
sharp objects.
Yeah, it doesn't. So it ricochets off of the magic bubble at an angle and goes flying up into the crowd, and the dart lands in a bystander's thigh.
Oh.
Oh,
She's a
gosh.
menace
That's
to
not good.
herself
But, like,
and
her
everyone around her.
ears lay back and she like ducks down beneath the chairs that she's behind. Very embarrassed. Bula, your turn.
All right. So when the other woman disappeared, she was by the doors, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would be stupid for her to stay there once she's invisible. I'm not real sure what to do, how to find her. Hmm. Hmm. Well, Bula is going to, let's see. She's over here. She's going to move as far as she can towards the doors because she's raging, which means that she's not thinking all that much, but she saw that woman right in front of the doors, so she's going to go towards the doors.
Okay. Are you dashing?
No, where does 40 get me?
Make it to the stairs.
Yeah, that's fine. So she's going to make it to the stairs. She's going to look towards the door, which is the last place that she saw this woman. She's going to think real hard and kind of squeeze her chest together and then stick a way out to see if she can kind of point this.
Okay.
And as she does, just this big beam of light shoots out of her chest right at the doors.
It's incredible watching you harness your powers and try and figure out what the hell is happening to you and use it in a productive way. However, as wonderful as that is to watch, nothing seems to occur. You blast the doors, and the doors don't quite open. They like burst, sort of, just like bow, and then come back closed, locked.
Really? That doesn't even open them?
The doors.
She must not have squeezed her cleavage enough.
You do
remember
hear like
that.
pounding on the outside as like the security guards are like, open the doors, and kind of in a panic trying to open the doors from their side.
Yeah. Okay. So, she is going to... She didn't hit anything, but she starts thinking about those tiny snacks again and how that's just absurd and you should never serve tiny snacks. And so her rage extends.
Love it.
Okay.
That it for you?
That's it.
Okay, Seraphina?
So seeing Chiffon or Kittenberry try to pierce the little bubble in the center, Seraphina is also getting curious. So she's gonna move up, right about towards where Marway is, and she's gonna try to Misty Step into the bubble.
Okay, give it a shot.
So you teleport 30 feet into an unoccupied space, so she's gonna try to teleport inside the bubble.
Okay. You concentrate real hard, and you find yourself standing inside the bubble, next to Huthamar.
Seraphina is just shocked that it worked.
You find it is very, very quiet within the bubble. You can't really hear all the outside panicking screams.
She'll turn to like the auctioneer and she'll just ask him, like, "Are you okay?"
He's like, clearly no.
What's happening?
I assume we're being robbed.
Who are these people?
I hoped you would know. All right, that it for Seraphina's turn.
Yeah, Seraphina will also admire the shimmery cloak inside the bubble.
Laying on the table, yeah, you're like,
Just like petting it.
the auctioneer's like, do not touch that. Okay, Mira is just trying to be as small as possible up against the wall, so she's gonna not even do anything on this turn. She's kind of holding a defensive attack if she needs it. Okay, I'm going to need... Let me measure. Let me roll first. You guys are fucked.
Great.
Okay.
Lovely.
Good.
Luckily for Eidos, the only people who need to do an intelligence roll are gonna be Killian and Marway, as exactly in front of Killian, our unpleasant invisible friend reappears and opens her mouth for another one of these magic attacks.
Is this a magical effect?
It is a magical effect.
Excellent.
Can I hear her in my bubble?
No.
And you said intelligence?
17.
Actually, I don't know if this is a magical effect. It's psychic damage, but it's an
Is it
actual
a s-
physical wave.
Even features are magical effects.
Yeah,
'Cause
okay,
it
we'll say
doesn't
it's
say
magic.
spell. Oh no, it does say spells. It says spells specifically.
This is not a spell.
That's
This is
fine. I got a
intelligence.
dirty 20 anyway.
Nice.
Killing at 17.
Okay. You both save. However, you will still take half damage.
I took 20, so have fun.
Yeah, but you're a soft kitty, so.
So
okay.
that's 16 psychic damage to each of you.
I'm a beefy kitty. What are you talking about? Also, I don't know if it mattered, but her speed was halved.
Yes. Yeah, I did take that into account. And she
Right.
smiles at Killian as you writhe in pain.
So-
Eidos, your turn.
What's up, girl?
Bless is
rude.
still active, everyone.
Didn't you. Is Sanctuary not concentration?
No, it's not.
Ooh.
I can have both. And I succeeded my concentration, so we're good to go.
Nice.
Let her up.
All right. As soon as she appears, Eidos is going to point to her and cast Fairy Fire.
Okay.
To try to outline her in a, let's go with blue light.
Okay.
So that way she can go invisible again. That's going to be a Dexterity 15.
Okie dokie. That's a 19.
That's more. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
19.
Yeah. It's bigger than what I asked for. That's not good. I think that might have been a really lame turn for me. That's about it.
All right.
I feel that.
Zada, your turn.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. I want to say, found you. And he will go for an attack. I'm rolling like crap. That is a... I have rolled 2, 3, 2, and another 3. So that is another 10 to hit.
Nope.
So, second hit. There we go. 19.
Yeah.
It's going to be a stunning strike, so I will use another focus point. She needs to make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw.
15.
Oof. Okay. So the next attack will have advantage, and her speed is halved again.
Okay.
Where's my D8? So this is going to be 7 points of thunder damage.
Okay.
So that's on the hit. Yeah, you know what? We'll do Flurry of Blows, so we'll get 2 more attacks on her. And this one will be at advantage, the first one. That is a 20 to hit.
Mhm.
That'll be 6 points of thunder damage. That's an 18, 25 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
She'll take 6 points of thunder damage.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope. That is everything that I can do.
Alrighty, Marway.
Excellent. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do something a little different for Morrowind this turn. He's gonna lift his hand up to face her, and it's almost like gnarled looking. And we're gonna put a hex on her.
Ooh.
And we're gonna be hexing her strength.
Okay.
And then for my turn, he is going to extend his other hand as a bunch of gold wisps fly outward towards her. And that is going to be a 23 to hit.
That hit.
And she's going to get hit with starry wisps.
Nice.
And for that's going to be 9 radiant damage.
Okay.
And on top of that, until the end of my next turn, she cannot benefit from being invisible, as they have lit her
Nice.
up.
Lit her up. Alrighty.
And then I'm going to run over here behind this bubble, because I really don't want to get hit with that shit again, because that sucks, first off.
Awesome.
Oh shit, hold on. I'm not done. She got hit while hexed, so I have to do the necrotic damage as well.
Indeed.
That's gonna be 5 extra damage.
Okay, nice.
Look, y'all, I can do damage.
We did it.
Okay, Killian.
Um,
Oh, sorry,
and
go
for
ahead.
y'all who don't know, if y'all want to grapple her ass, that counts as a contested check, not a saving throw, which means she has disadvantage on it because I hexed her strength.
Mhm.
Wink.
Nudge, nudge.
No.
All right. How's she looking?
Really good. She's like super pretty. Her scale mail is barely scratched.
Oh no.
Her hair is a little disheveled. She looks a little like winded at this point.
All right.
How
You know.
embarrassing.
Stuff is hurt.
So Killian will use his saber that he has, and she's nice and up close. I'm still blessed, correct?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Marley? Perfect. So as I go to attack as well, I'll use Channel Divinity on my blade, making it a sacred weapon.
Okay.
So I'm going to attack her, and that's going to be for 18 to hit.
That hits.
All right. So that's going to be just 7 points of radiant damage. But my next attack is at advantage because of Vex on my blade. So that's going to be, well, it's going to be really a lot. 27 to hit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that does it.
And I'll go ahead and use I'll use Divine Smite at let's go ahead and use that second level.
Cool.
So first it's all right, let's do this math. All right, first 9 radiant damage, that's just from the strike, and then okay, let's see, 15, so 26 radiant damage total.
Nice. Excellent.
And that's it.
Okay. Chiffon is gonna try and be useful in some way, so she's gonna move to where she has a clear shot, and she's gonna throw her last dart. See if it does any good. Damn, nothing. Like 12. She's so mad. She's gonna go ahead and like use her last movement to hide. Bula.
So Bula's gonna get as close to her as she can.
You can get like right up against her if you want.
Yeah, that's fine. So she's going to kind of, as she's stomp running over there, she's going to be like squeezing that cleavage because last time it just wasn't enough, and she thinks maybe this is how it works, and so she's squeezing that cleavage together. And
I
then as
think
she
you're
gets
like
to
running,
her-
and it's like you're going downstairs without a bra on.
right. And then as she gets to her, she's just gonna point them at her as hard as she can, focusing all her energy, and this blinding light is gonna shoot right at her
Okay.
Hot.
Point blank range.
in point blank range. So that's gonna be a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. It's only a 7.
Ah! So she is going to take 6 points of radiant damage, and she's blinded until the start of her next turn.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, start of my next turn.
Okay. Slowed and blinded.
I like it.
Cool.
Yeah.
How much was the damage? 6?
6 points of radiant damage.
Okay. Thank you.
She is
Cool.
also all up on her, and so she is going to pull out her great axe. No.
I think you
Okay,
get,
and we're going to use.
You have
you get
advantage.
advantage because they're
Fine.
blinded.
Yes.
Oh, that's good because man, that was bad.
Mhm.
That wasn't much better. You know what? We're going to go on ahead and use one of those lucky points.
Sure.
You're blessed also.
Don't forget.
Add that depot.
It would not have helped. Okay, so we're going to use one of those luck points. We're going to do that one again. Much better. So, that's going to be a 27 to hit.
Nice. And it's
Mhm. Okay, and ten points of slashing damage.
nice. Very cool.
Now, because of that, never mind. There's only her, so she's gonna hit her again.
Sure.
So she gets her across one side and then pulls it around. And she's just gonna go again on the other side. So that's gonna be a 22 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does. Oh, come on. 9 points of slashing damage.
Nice. She's finally starting to look a little worse for wear.
Yeah, you don't go up against the great axe and not come out with some kind of paper cut.
Certainly.
All right, that's it.
Okay. Beautiful. Seraphina.
Serafina is still petting the cloak, and she's like picking it up and like, trying to see how it looks. Like she is
Under Sanctuary, like, please stop! Being on the side of Sanctuary. That's
Serafina, Serafina makes eyes at Ados, like, yeah. Seraphina, as she's like modeling this, Seraphina is also gonna try to call for Glitterbell. Glitterbell has been hiding under a chair, trying to keep her safe. But she wants to make sure Glitterbell is close by, so she calls for Glitterbell to try to come into the bubble.
Certainly. Can Glitterbell move in any way that isn't just physically walking around?
Let me see. I don't think so. Glitterbell can fly and walk around.
Yeah, so Glitterbell will run right up to the edge of the bubble and like fully face plant into it. like a bird flying into glass.
Oh my goodness.
Baby girl, no!
Bless her heart.
Poor dear.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Seraphina will just try to tell Glitterbell to hide by Marway. And so this whole thing is over. And then she's going to ready a couple Eldritch Blasts in case anybody comes in past the bubble.
Okay, cool.
And that will be her turn, and she does not relinquish the cloak. She's still like petting it and modeling it.
That's hers now.
Of course. Fix her token. Okay. Mira is gonna start to kind of feel brave seeing this little dragon thing running around. So she's going to try just a magic missile, classic. Okay. Pow. That was a 1, a 2, and a 4. So 6 points from the magic missiles. But other than that, she's just going to keep cowering against the wall. She is certainly not an adventurer. And we're back around. Okay, let me roll something real quick.
Oh.
Lady has all the debuffs on her right now.
Currently,
Okay.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nat 1, lucky for you all. So instead of what was about to happen, something possibly even crazier happens. She's wearing this cloak this whole fight, but clearly has this like scale mail underneath it. And she rips the cloak off of herself as this emerald, sort of almost like jewel-toned scale mail, like slides over her whole body, and her bones stretch and her skin bursts into more scales and leathery face as this woman in front of you drops her illusion and
No.
shows her true form. Just standing between all of you now is a massive, young but massive dragon.
Oh, hey.
Oh, cool.
And,
Oh, wow.
and instead of doing her breath attack at you all again, she is slowed, she's blinded. The best she can do is burrow beneath the ground. You see her just dig very quickly into the floor and down through the earth. And you're left with a gaping hole between you all.
Do we get any attacks of opportunity as she's
You
bleeding?
do each get an attack of opportunity.
Yay.
Dula, Killian, and Zada. I mean, the 3 around her.
They are at advantage, I believe, since she is still blind. That's
All right.
Correct.
Who's first?
All right. Well, I got like 31.
26.
It's got a massive number.
Yeah.
That's gonna be 9 radiant damage.
Oh, nice. It'll be 12 thunder damage.
Does the 17 hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Just.
12 slashing damage.
Cool.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, and she manages to burrow away, and she comes up just on the other side of that barrier. Comes bursting through the earth. Seraphina, you're still like modeling this cloak, being yelled at, when suddenly the earth is shaking just next to you, and these massive dragon claws come, and this head pops up out of the earth. Still blinded, but sniffing around and sort of turning toward you.
Can I use my readied Eldritch Blast on her?
Yeah.
Okay. The first one is 16 to hit.
Misses.
Okay, I have one more. Oh no.
Yep, doesn't hit.
I don't suppose
You're
a
panicked.
15's better.
You like jump and you are still like you're trying to hold on to the cloak, so you just miss. As these blind dragon eyes search. Eidos.
All right, let's get in there. Assume that I do have it, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
That misty step.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Oh, it's just more expensive than I thought. Cool. I cast Misty Step and I get myself in there, into the pit. Oh,
Okay.
that's a ruler. Okay. And somebody who knows rules better than me, help me out with this. Misty Step is a bonus action. Can I cast a cantrip as an action?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's not a leveled spell.
Okay.
Correct.
So I'll blast in there and I cast a lightning blast at this dragon.
Okay. Is it a deck save?
No, it's a roll to hit. It's gonna be a 12. Do I still get that D4 from bless?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's technically still blind, and it is a range attack, so.
Oh, so it's an advantage?
Yeah.
Okay, so 12 or 14 plus. It's 17 to hit.
Yes.
Nice. 2d10. Nine lightning damage.
Okay, she's starting to look. She looks real bad.
Awesome. And that's it for me.
Okay. Zada.
Gonna jump in that hole. Chase after
I
her.
figured you would.
Gotta get in there.
Get in there.
You can do so. It's not very deep. It's just pretty much a straight shot from under the ground into the but you come up like behind her and her whole body takes up this tunnel. So you're under the ground behind her, unable to squeeze past.
I'm gonna punch her. I'm gonna punch her in the derriere. That's what's
Sure.
gonna happen. All right, so these are all with advantage. So that's 19 to hit.
Okay.
That'll be 6 points of thunder damage.
Okay.
I'm not gonna use my focus. I'm not gonna use Second Strike. I'm just gonna go for my last one. This is gonna be flurry. 21 to hit.
Yep.
That'll be another 12 points of thunder damage.
Okay.
I'm going to use my bonus action. I'm going to use Flurry of Blows. It's my last focus point. So I'm going to do 2 more attacks at advantage.
Okay.
18 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be 6 points of thunder damage. And
Okay.
last one. That is a 25 to hit.
Yep.
That'll be another 12 points of thunder damage.
Okay, damn.
I rolled.
You're like breaking her legs, her back legs.
You just hear this underneath the ground. You just hear boom, boom, just as thunder is striking her.
Okay. Maraway.
Alright. So what we're going to we're gonna have Huthramer move right here, so he's still in range, so she doesn't attack of opportunity. And then he's gonna reach over and grab the artifacts on the table, as well as the Mr. Auctioneer. And we're gonna teleport out of the bubble. So if she wants this shit, she'll have to spend another turn digging.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. Very cool.
So we're gonna be like right outside the bubble. Seraphina, are you coming with? You get the choice. If you don't want to join us, you don't have to.
I'm going where the cloak is, so I'm coming. I like won't let go. I'm just still holding on.
And then for my action, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I really don't have a whole lot because this bubble is all up in my way. So I guess I'm just gonna cure wound myself because self-care is important, people.
That's
It
true.
is.
That's very true.
And we're just gonna do that at a first
Okay,
And
cool.
yeah, that's gonna be it for me. We're gonna do some self-care. We're gonna get these people out. And now we'll let Zada punch her buns until she's dead.
All right, Killian.
I think one person down the hole is enough.
Oh, come on. You got a whip. You've got reach. You can be behind him and still hit him. Do it.
Whip her butt.
Listen, that's not the way Killian wants to kill a dragon, okay?
Been looking forward to this for a long time.
That's not in his wildest dreams, whipping a dragon in the butt till it dies. No. Killian's gonna run over to you guys who are outside of the circle now, just to make sure everyone is safe and sound over here. And he'll use lay on hands, and he'll lay on hands himself, and I'll heal myself up for like 15 points.
Okay, cool. Bula.
All right. So the dragon is still in the bubble.
Mhm.
Zada is taking up the hole.
Yes.
Correct.
To be fair, she's a 10
Yeah.
feet creature, so I only take up 5 feet. So you could fit down here. It'll be tight, but
It'll
we
be
could do
cozy.
it.
So-
It'll be very
so I'm whole.
cozy.
It's no longer
Get in
blind,
there and
though.
blast her with your cleavage.
Yeah, it's not blinded, so we need your cleavage.
What am I going to do? Blind its rear end?
Yes.
Yeah?
Its head is sticking up out of the hole still. You could try and blind it from the other side of the barrier.
Would it go through the barrier?
The light will.
So light, yeah.
Magic goes through.
I would say that the damage probably won't, but the light
Hot
could.
dog. All right.
Giving it a shot.
So she's going to squish them together. She's going to squish real hard. And she's going to point it at the dragon through the protective barrier and just like and send that bright light through there.
I'm dying.
So that is a Constitution save.
Okay. 16
Damn it.
saves.
No blinded dragon.
Yeah, it saves.
Man.
No.
Sad day.
Anything else Bula wants to do?
I mean, my only other option is to like slide down the honey hole. I don't know. I don't think I want to do that.
Understood. Okay. Serafina, anything you want to do? The auctioneer comes over and tries to like wrestle the, the cloak away from you. You've got like a tug of war going on.
I'm too distracted by this the whole time. Yeah, I've lost all focus. I'm just really focused on this cloak. I'm trying not to get into like a fist fight with him. I'm trying to be like cordial, but I'm just like
Cordial.
not letting go. I'm just like refusing to let go.
Holding it. I'm just holding it.
You can trust me. You can trust me.
I came in with this.
This is giving fighting over the same cloak on Black Friday vibes.
Very, yes.
Yeah. I'm not trying to get into a physical confrontation, but I'm not yielding.
Well, neither is he. This is a very expensive cloak. Okay, do you have anything you want to do in the battle?
This is a battle. A battle between her and the
I found my fight.
Yes. I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, Mira's gonna hold her action until she has a clear shot. It's the dragon's turn. So she's kind of pissed. She doesn't want to take another attack of opportunity because she's really, really fucked up. Zada. Hold on, first of all. Nope, okay. Zada does a 18 hit.
Oh, because I have Shield of Faith up. It's a 19 right now.
Nice.
She was doing the math, and I was waiting for that. Does a 48 hit?
Yeah, right?
Well,
I was like, oh, look.
second attack does a 28 hit?
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah. I
That's
thought so.
better.
That's what I was expecting.
Okay, you take 6 slashing damage from one of the bat claws as she kicks back at you.
6 slashing damage.
Okay, and she'll go ahead and she doesn't really have much of a choice, so she'll go ahead and take an opportunity attack as she climbs up out of the hole. Or she doesn't climb up out of the hole; she continues tunneling.
Burrow.
Yeah.
I will go for that attack of opportunity, and that will be a 21 to hit,
Okay.
and that'll be 7 points of thunder damage.
Okay. Ooh, she's holding on by a thread. Is she still slowed from the last round?
Not
No,
stunning
she went
strike.
a full turn. Yeah, I didn't stunning strike her this turn, so she's got full movement.
Okay.
I
cool.
just flurry up blowed her, so she just got lots of punches.
Yep. Okay. So she comes up roaring from the ground right around all of you. And she used her action to attack Zada, so that's it for her. She's just right in front of you all again. Eidos, your turn.
Alright. Alright. He's going to point his staff at her and cast Chromatic Orb at 3rd level.
Okay.
As soon as he finds his D20.
You
Hopefully
are
it goes through the
inside the barrier, my friend.
Hopefully it goes through the barrier.
You are inside the barrier.
That's a
Did
true
you
concept.
used it the first time and it went through, didn't it? Or was that when she was still outside?
That was
No,
Yeah,
use
that
Chromatic
actually-
Orb
that one?
against the drow guy.
correct.
Yeah.
Right, you
We
went
have
around.
No,
we
I
have not
went around
actually
it.
cast a
Just yet.
spell through the orb
Okay.
yet.
Well, you're welcome to give it a shot.
Oh, because she's
Just
fucking outside.
ricochets
Yeah.
all inside.
Oh shit! Well, that was a 10, so
Yeah, no, would have missed either way.
okay. I'm gonna go. Is there a hole that she left behind?
A hole in the ground? Yes, absolutely.
Gotta start crawling through that hole.
Alright.
See Zada there, just like, hey.
Oh, hey, what's up, buddy?
Okay, Zada, that's you.
Zada's gonna come out the hole that she started with, and then run to her. So
Okay.
she's out on the other side. So I don't know how much movement that would be to climb out. I don't know how much of a
It's not very deep under the ground, so we're just calling it straight distance.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Oh, I want to get close to the auctioneer, but that's fine. We'll just do that. He will just attack. Oh, that is a 12, so that's not going to hit. And his second attack. Nope, that's an 11, so that won't hit. And his bonus action. 17? I think that's would hit?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yep.
Yeah, so that will hit. That'll be 11 points of thunder damage.
Okay. She ain't down yet, but she's damn close.
That'll be the end of his turn.
Okay. Mara away.
All right. So we're gonna start by having Eden fly above the auctioneer, and we're gonna try to do some nice juicy hits. But they're not gonna do shit because I highly doubt. I don't think my 5 is going to land
Ooh.
anywhere.
Yeah,
No.
I feel that.
Tickles.
But then just because I'm kind of getting joy out of annoying this dragon, we're gonna fly with Huthamer over Killian, and we're gonna teleport again back into the bubble.
With the stuff
so-
again.
Everyone who wishes to come with, we are coming back in the bubble.
Does the auctioneer want to go with the bubble again?
I mean, it gets them away from the dragon.
True.
Yeah, and it also helps him rip the cloak out of Seraphina's hand.
Absolutely. That's the main thing.
But Seraphina goes with it, right? Because she's
Seraphina and Killian, are you staying?
Killian's gonna stay.
Seraphina is very shocked by the dragon. So she got distracted by its sudden presence right in front of her.
Alright, I need the dragon, Seraphina, and Killian to all make dex saving throws, please.
Kill me. Seraphina, you get.
You could have gone.
Seraphina, you get +3 to your dex save.
Oh, I get plus. Okay, I got 6.
Oh, well, it doesn't.
Dragon got a 1, not 1.
10 plus. Okay, hold on. 10 plus 16.
16.
Yeah,
that'll work. Everyone else though is gonna take 8 lightning damage.
How do you want to do this, Marway? Wild.
Oh my god.
Huthamer, as he like hops onto Killian's forehead, essentially, like horn completely raised to the sky as a bolt of lightning. I don't know if you're gonna let me do this, but I want to do it. We're gonna go for some property damage. I want it just like a bolt of lightning crashing through the ceiling,
through the dome,
onto his horn that just creates a cascade around them and zaps them into the dome and leaves the dragon as a crisp.
Because Huthamer managed to kill our first dragon of the campaign, I'm gonna allow that. That's dope. Pretty sick.
I'm just sitting there with Huthamer on my head.
Oh no, he's not there anymore.
He's
gone. Teleportation.
I just get a bolt of lightning in front of my face and then a burnt dragon.
Yeah, the auctioneer is like being teleported as the lightning bolt comes down, and so they are still like just like trying to fold up and like protect the cloak, and they don't even realize what just happened and that the dragon has gone down. They run over and start like collecting the other 3 items off of the podium and are like working on casting the spell that'll bring down the protective shield after they realize the dragon is downed.
Mm-hmm.
I like to imagine Seraphina's like, oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I like to imagine Seraphina was just like holding onto cloak and suddenly she's like fried.
Like no eyebrows.
Oh my god. Huthamer, as he's like floating there in the sky, is gonna like very arrogantly like lift his glasses back up onto his nose a little bit more, giving everyone like a "that's how you do it" kind of look.
Freaking incredible, guys. And we'll find out the repercussions of everything that happened next time. We're gonna call it for tonight. Damn. Okay. Well, party.
One more hit. Just one more hit.
Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you all, gang, for watching. What a fun one. Thanks for waiting for us through the break. We love you all. Everybody stay safe. We'll be back next Monday. Same time, same place. You know where to find us. Bye, gang.